The time is finally here, folks. The Bulldogs have their home opener tonight against the Hinsdale South Hornets. Should be an exciting one. These Bulldogs and their fans in the student section, they're ready. They're growling. They're barking. They're ready to be let off their leash. Colin, how are we feeling about tonight's game?
Oh, I'm excited. It's going to be an absolute shootout. I'm super pumped.
Absolutely. Well, the key to the game, let's go straight into this one, will contain and minimize the man we've been talking about all week. We even mentioned him on the Coaches Show if you tuned into the playbook this week, Dante Jett. What do you think about the kid?
I think he's an absolute beast. I mean, first game, 179 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. With that 6'3" frame, I think he's an absolute unit.
Absolutely. And with players like John Evans, Luke Ferguson, and Warren Mason in the Bulldogs' defensive backfield, they're going to have to do their best to contain the guy. With a frame like that, 6'3", he's going to be a guy that quarterback Jackson Schuyler for this Hornets team, he's just going to lob it up there and hope he can bring it down, because in key situations, let's say it's a 3rd and long, and the Hornets have no choice but to, chuck it up there, they're going to go to Jett. So it'll be interesting to see how the Bulldogs plan to minimize his production tonight. But also, let's move into the most important position for this Bulldogs team and in football in general, quarterbacks. Giancarlo Garcia and Braden Novak. What a storyline, Colin. We have 2 pretty good athletes. Again, we talked about this in the playbook as well. You can't go without talking about the quarterback. What do you think about the 2 in that quarterback room?
Well, as Sam Styler said, it is the most important position in football,
Absolutely.
and it is the hardest position in all of sports. And I totally agree with that. And with that tandem of Braden Novak and Giancarlo, having that run-pass game is going to be an absolute great dynamic for the Bulldogs tonight, as the Hinsdale South run defense is not the greatest. So I think we are going to see a lot of good plays from Giancarlo Garcia tonight.
That is a fantastic point. If you look at the statistics, to be specific, the Hornets against Wakanda last week in a 44-26 loss, they let up 292 rushing yards. So you could pinpoint that as one of the main reasons they lost by such a sizable margin last week. Here we are just moments away from kickoff. Our Bulldogs about to run out on the field for the introduction. Let's get into it for the moment. Here we go. Here the band comes out on the field. Boy, I'm getting chills here, Colin. Just getting excited for this week 1 game.
I'm excited.
The weather is nice. Feels like it's a bit chilly here tonight, but I'm not complaining about it. Weather's beautiful. Clouds are out. Sky is nice and blue. Feels like 64 out here. Beautiful.
Some would call it football weather.
Absolutely. First Friday night lights here from Riverside Brookfield. You can't help but love it. So here we go. Just a little bit more before the game. Keys to the game from me and Colin. If the Bulldogs want to get Jacob Bertana going, back to the run game, right? 13 rushes for 25 yards. Coach Styler on the playbook this Thursday, he made a point of emphasis. While 13 for 25 doesn't necessarily pop out on the stat sheet, he said that he blocked his butt off, and if he just puts out all that effort again, I think we'll see a big game from him if he can find some holes. As here comes the Bulldogs running out on the field, all the fields. Here comes Warren Mason leading his dogs out there for this Riverside Brookfield team. They look ready to go, Con. What do we think, brother?
I'm just excited to see it. It's a new year. Last year wasn't the greatest, but I think they're going to bounce back with the senior leaders they have this year and the new additions from the junior and sophomore class.
Absolutely. It is a very big senior class this year, a lot of leaders. Guys, I think of off the top of my head, we just saw him, Warren Mason leading that crowd out onto the field. John Evans, another big one. Both the quarterbacks are underclassmen, which is a storyline to think about. But Damian Nieves is another guy.
Absolutely. 3-year starter. Yeah. Absolute unit of a player.
He is. Offensive line and defensive line. As here we go. The national anthem. chills. Absolute chills. Absolute chills, folks. We are just moments away from kickoff here. The home opener for the Riverside Brookfield Bulldogs. Colin, I'm super pumped. But let's talk about last week against Niles West. We know our Bulldogs started off 1-0, but how did they do that, Colin?
They started off really well. Passing game, running game. As we saw, Giancarlo Garcia, he did only threw 3 for 6 for 19 yards and 1 interception, but he was an absolute unit on the rushing game. He had 11 carries for 92 yards with a long of 45 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. And Bubba Novak, as they are going to split time tonight, Bubba Novak going 8 for 13 with 157 passing yards for 3 touchdowns. I mean, how about that for your first varsity game?
Absolutely. No questions asked. That is a great performance for the kid. It'll be very interesting to see, as we don't even know who they're starting out with tonight. So expect a switch at some point, I'd say. But we will see here just moments from now who will be the starting quarterback for tonight's Riverside Brookfield Bulldogs.
Absolutely. And they picked up a nice win last week, 35-27 over Niles West. And when we talked to Coach Sam Styler on the playbook, please go watch that, by the way. Absolute great episode.
Absolutely.
We saw, he talked about it. The receiving core was absolutely great. Jaden Karras with 3 receptions for 79 yards with a long of 66. Xavier Morozic de Jesus, 3 receptions for 42 yards, and John Bilobradic, 2 receptions for 33 yards. I mean, how more balanced can you get than that?
Yeah, they did, in fact, spread the ball pretty well. And 3 receptions, 2 receptions. Well, that's not a lot. They did get the gains that they needed. We saw the 3 for 79 with a long of 66 from Karras. 372 total yards from the Bulldogs offense last week. We hope to see that theme continue here for the Bulldogs, as we are just moments away from kickoff. Here they come running out, the Hornets and the Bulldogs.
Karras and Morozic in the backfield to take it back.
Another interesting thing to point out for the Hinsdale Hornets, their quarterback, Jackson Schuyler, is how you pronounce his last name, Schuyler. Last week, what's the buzz about them? Well, let's talk about it. 9 completions for 10 attempts. That's 226 yards, 4 touchdowns. 3 of those obviously going to the man that we talked about in Dante Jett, but that is a very, very good first game for Jackson Schuyler. Obviously, the loss didn't help, but a 168 QBR, that's almost perfect. So it'll be very interesting to see here as he's ready to kick the ball off. When you see a quarterback be back there for kickoff, it's definitely something that you don't see very often, but here we go. This kickoff is just seconds away. Just waiting for the whistle from the ref here, and here we go. Let's do it, folks. And we are off a shorter squib punt. And that'll be fielded, and about a 5-yard gain there for the Bulldogs. So here comes the offense. Trotting out, we see G with his helmet on, ready to go.
John Evans Jr. on the return.
It was John for a return about 6 or 7 yards.
Another senior leader there.
Absolutely. They will just, you will find that it is a common theme tonight that they will just continue to pop up on that stat sheet, offense, defense, and special teams. This senior unit is infectious for this Bulldogs team, and it is a key part to why they won the first game and hopefully why they will win tonight's game versus Hinsdale South. We will see. As we see for the offensive starters, we'll start with the offensive line. We got Joaquin Hara, Daniel Amperin, Felix Sanchez, Joey, and Jika on the offensive line. Here we have Garcia at quarterback, and the receivers are Caputo, Morozic de Jesus, Karras with the first snap. Here we go. A rush for a couple of yards there. Easing into the game here, the handoff first play. So what do we think for Garcia? What do we think? Do we think we see him use his legs here pretty early? Do we think we see him maybe throw a couple deep balls, get the arm loose? What do we think here, Colin?
I'm thinking a lot of runs. I think he's going to stick to what he's good at. He has an arm, but I also think he's going to keep it simple.
Yeah, use his legs.
Get a good drive going to start the first game.
As number 19, Timothy Giacomelli is coming out here as a receiver, it appears, for 2nd down and 7. One running back in the backfield, I believe that is Jacob Ratana. Garcia with the snap, hands it off to Ratana. He finds a bit of a crease, and there he goes. Finds an opening, and he will take it the distance. 2nd play, touchdown, Bulldogs. How about that for a start?
Not a bad start. Way to get the run game going. As we had pointed it out, the Hinsdale South run defense is going to be a problem all night.
This crowd is going in their togas and in their frat uniforms. The theme for tonight was Greek life. And you can hear them down there. What a start for Riverside Brookfield. We talked about it in the pregame, Colin. We wanted to see Jacob Bertana get going. We know he has talent to run the rock. And what a better first impression than that, man. How about it?
I mean, can't get much better than that. 2nd play, take it to the house.
Absolutely, gotta love it. Well, that was quick. Like we said, 2 plays. That was fantastic. Can't complain. The extra point there is right down the middle as it's a 7-0 ball game here for the Bulldogs just as we started the first quarter. So now we will see what the Bulldogs defense has to offer. Who are some players on defense that stand out to you, Colin?
Well, there's definitely a bunch. I mean, we can start with Oscar Aguirre, who is starting another year, number 2 at the defensive back. He has had 17 solo tackles last season with 19 assists with 1 defensive breakup. I think he's an absolute great player, and I'm excited to see what he could do this year.
Oscar is another guy that we pointed out last week. He had 11 tackles actually week 1 against Niles West. Was probably a big reason why they were able to shut their offense down there towards the end. And the other strong safety I think about is Warren Mason. He's a guy that's going to keep popping up. You'll see him all over the field tonight. Week 1 he had 5 tackles, including an interception and a blocked field goal. So like I said, that kid is all over the place. John Evans, another guy that we've mentioned a couple times here on the broadcast early, had 1 tackle for loss and 1 pass deflection last week. So they got guys all over that defensive backfield that can make interceptions, make pass deflections, and make the plays that the Bulldogs defense needs to switch the side.
And one player that's usually slept on is Luke Ferguson.
Yes.
He only played 5 games last season, but he made an absolute impact as he was just all over the place with 10 solo tackles and 17 assists.
Absolutely. As here we have the kickoff. Is that an onside kick? It is. Well, the Hornets, will recover it near the 50-yard line, so they'll have solid field position here to start off. And here comes the Hornets offense. I give it maybe 2 plays before we see that ball in Dante Jett's hands here, Con.
I think first play. I think they're going to give it right back to what's working.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming off the hot performance, they're going to give it to the hot hand, I'd expect here for the Hornets. But they do have a pretty balanced offense, all things considered. For Hinsdale South, another guy that popped up on the stat sheet last week was Lamarius Moore, number 1. He had 2 receptions for 28 yards. And Elijah Chrisman, he had 1 reception for 28 yards, as well as 1 to the crib.
And
so
something
interesting to see here.
Some you can't forget is their run game. With Isaiah Burton, 16 rushes for 92 yards.
They handed off to him for the first play. Try to cut it up backfield, only get a couple of yards, probably 4 there. And that Bulldogs defensive line is absolutely a force to be reckoned with. Miguel and Andrew, nose tackle and defensive tackle, number 70 and 66. Those are some big boys down there, and they can make the tackles, on the interior line to stop those runners and only have them get a small gain, if anything.
And you got Biskupik on the edge. I mean, he's a big guy. Shout out my basketball boy.
We both know him pretty well there. Last week, he actually had, in his first performance, he had a sack. He got to the quarterback, so we'll see what he's capable of tonight. We have a man in motion, Moore. They're going to fake the pitch. An interesting play call there. They're going to try to give it to Burton. And a great tackle there from Mason. We already talked about him. Look at him go. He is fired up, trying to get these Bulldog fans going. Nice tackle there in open space.
Liking the energy the defense is bringing right now. We got to get going quick. Can't let this Hinsdale South offense hang around. Can't let them hang around at all.
They're feeding off that offensive energy. Like we said, 2 plays. I've never seen it as quick as that in high school football. They scored in no time, so the defense is looking to give it right back to the hot hand in the Bulldogs offense. As you can hear, swag surfing is roaring. Let's get hyped, folks. We have a 3rd down with 3 to go. It'll be interesting to see. Do they go with the pass here? They have Burton in the backfield.
Jet off to the left side as well.
Another guy in motion. 11, that's Piers Morgan, I believe the tight end. Looks as if they'll run it here and they'll give it off. And should have enough for a Hornets first down. We'll see the spot. Should have been at least 3 there, so I'd expect a first down for the Hornets as they are in Bulldog territory. First down, Hornets. So we have yet to see them throw the ball yet. So I was wrong on the Jet prediction, but I'd imagine at some point in this first drive, barring a collapse or a turnover, Jet gets that ball in his hands. 6'3", I mean, you can see it from up here, Colin. That kid is huge. Maybe not as muscular as you think, but I'd imagine he can still go up there and get it, given the stat sheet from last week as we see John Evans out there on an island with him.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it once they get closer to the red zone. I think they're going to try to throw it up over there.
As another pitch in the backfield. It's been all in the backfield and a big hit. Still a solid gain there for the Hornets, but the defense puts a stop to it right around the 40-yard line. And Skyler goes back to the sideline to talk with Coach, see what he wants here as they continue with their drive. 7-0 Bulldogs with 8:30 to go in the first half.
Nice to see such a good turnout from the student section today.
Yes, you can hear him from up here. It's very exciting. The atmosphere of week 1 in high school football, Colin, is second to none, I'd say. It's really awesome to just be a part of it and be up here in the booth with you, man. It's a blessing.
It's absolutely.
Here we go now, 2nd and 6 for the Hornets. It'll be interesting to see. Do they go pass here for the first time tonight? They use the pre-snap motion a lot here, as we see. And they will hand it off again, not taking any chances through the air. And, almost stayed up there for an even bigger gain. Got around 15 there as another good run for number 5.
Yet another tackle for Warren Mason. He's all over the place tonight.
Yes, sir. Well, he'll rack up those tackles, that's for sure, without a doubt, with his game. Isaiah Burton, obviously you can see here with the first couple of plays, he is one of the X factors for this Hornets offense. Has gotten at least 5 carries already. So we'll see if they continue to give it to him as they inch closer to the end zone here.
Not too big of a running back, though. Only 5'10", 180.
Do we see more pre-snap motion? We don't, but it is another handoff. He'll try to cut outside and only get a few there. The interior defensive line shifts and puts a stop to that run. So it'll be second down for the Hornets.
5-yard gain on the play.
Very interesting approach here for the Hornets to start things off. Haven't gone through the air yet. They're playing it safe with their running back. They trust Burton. Obviously, last week he had 18 carries for 97 yards versus Wakanda in the loss. He led their team in rushing. So they definitely trust the guy. He is a senior. So they'll give it to him if they feel like it, that's for sure.
And getting a little closer to the red zone, I could see Dante Jett getting a touch here as they're going to put him out on an island with John Evans Jr.
One-on-one. Folks, keep your eyes peeled. We'll see if they throw it up to the kid in the corner of the end zone. More pre-snap motion here as we see Morgan move to the left side as well as Brady Miller, the other wide receiver. They'll hand it off again, and a nice tackle there. Luke Ferguson got in there on it, only a couple, as it'll be a third down, a gain of 1, or a third and medium for the Hornets. We'll see what they do. Do you think they go through the air here, Colin?
I think they gotta. And
I think they got to too.
Brian Rampillo had a nice tackle there. He
did.
definitely shut that down real quick.
He's not one of those senior leaders, but he will pop up on the stat sheet and make his presence felt. As a linebacker, you got to be all over the place on this football field. So he's going to get to that ball as much as he possibly can.
Bulldogs fans getting loud for a 3rd and 4th here.
Here we go. You hear the music. They got a theme here on 3rd down. I like it. Here we go. Bulldogs might be showing blitz here, more pre-snap motion. They love moving Morgan and another guy over to the left. He will look back to throw. Lobbing it up for Jet. And incomplete, no flags. Good coverage there from Mr. John Evans, the red-headed sniper, number 10, putting an end to things there in the left corner of the end zone.
I think they're going to keep the offense out here.
We'll see. It looks like Skyler's going to go back to talk to coach, ask for the play call here, and they're going to go for it on 4th down. Colin, what do you think of it here?
Well, he's also the kicker, so we don't know. We don't know what he's going to do.
Double-edged sword, Jackson Skyler. What an interesting player. On the stat sheet, at least on Max Preps, they show him listed as a quarterback, defensive back, and kicker. So offense, defense, and special teams, he loves staying involved. 4th and 4 here for the Hornets. What do they do?
They're going to keep the offense.
They will, unless they try to catch him off sides here, get him to jump, but we will see if they take the snap or not. See some movement from the defense. Fake snap there from Skyler. Moves back. Empty backfield. And that ball drops. We'll see what the call is. A timeout from the Hinsdale South Hornets. So a little shaky there on 4th down. It appears as if they just tried to catch the Bulldogs off sides. We'll see if they bring Skyler back out there for the field goal this time on 4th down.
Think you gotta.
So with the kickoff, we saw the Hornets get pretty solid field position, all things considered, around the 45 of their own football field. Now, they're at around the 25-30. So for a high school kicker, I don't know. I mean, it's tough. They might even punt here, but we'll see. Actually, they are around the 20-yard line. So a 4th and medium, still 4th and 4. They called the timeout. We'll see what they have here.
Yeah, 5:30 in the half. Absolutely gorgeous night.
Not catching too much of a breeze here up in the booth just yet, but I expect it to get colder. We got pink skies. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Defense is back out there on the field.
4th and 4 coming up from the Hornets. Let's hear it, Bulldog fans.
And as they'll make their last-second adjustments,
Looks like
Skyler and Co. comes back out on the field for the Hornets. What do they do here?
I think you go to the man. I think they're going to look to get Dante Jett on a certain route.
It's not a bad prediction, Colin. We'll see here. Another empty backfield. They'll take the snap. We got an out route down low. Skyler will take it and run, make a move, and he might have leaned forward for that 1st down. It'll be close. We'll see what they call it. And it appears as if they got the stop. How about that for the Bulldogs defense, as the sides will switch and that offense will take back over on their side of the field.
Not a bad start for the Dogs compared to how last year's game went, as they went down 38-9.
They did. That Bulldogs defense is hype on the sideline right now. I can see John Evans amping his guys up after that important, stop in the corner of the end zone when they lobbed it up to Jet. And the Bulldogs offense will take back over around the 15-yard line.
Skyler hasn't left the field yet. He's been on every single play. He's out there playing defense now.
I just know he's already gassed, but he'll go until he can't. Obviously, as the quarterback, you got to be out there all the time on offense. And Garcia is going to fix Ratana's shoulder pad. How about that for a teammate?
And we haven't seen the switch yet. We haven't seen Braden
We've
Novak.
seen Garcia out here for the second drive, and they catch him off sides. Yes, they did. That'll move the Bulldogs forward another 5 yards. We'll take that. No complaints.
And something I like to point out is last week they did rotate quarterbacks, and
they
had such a quick first drive. I think they're just going to keep Garcia out there and see if they can let it ride.
Keep the hot hand, right? 2 plays, so not that big of a sample size, but it worked. The Bulldogs have 7 points on the board, so no real need to make a switch yet. Just over 5 minutes here in the first quarter. Going to hand it off again to Ratana. Breaks a tackle and is swarmed by the Hornets right around the line of scrimmage.
1 yard gain on the
Still be second and short due to the penalty. We'll see what the Bulldogs do here. Maybe go through the air, get Garcia's arm going a little bit, as they will have to do so eventually.
for the Bulldogs from the 22-yard line.
Play call going through from the sideline right now as Garcia breaks the huddle. We'll see what play call they go with here. Garcia's going to step back for a pass. They send the blitz. Cool, calm, collected in the pocket. He'll run out and break a tackle. Man, those legs on Giancarlo Garcia can get this offense going in no time, Colin.
Some will call it sweet feet.
Absolutely, I love that. Sweet feet from Giancarlo Garcia.
Yeah, and you're feeling an absolute presence right now in the middle, as Hinsdale South has David Gabu, who is 6'4", 320 pounds.
How about that for a unit? You can't miss him as you see him there, lined up with the center, force to be reckoned with. We'll see if he can get any pressure here tonight. I'd imagine so eventually. Quick snap there. They're going to hand it off, and they were all over that. A huge hit. My goodness, from 22. Is that Brady Miller? I believe so. Offense and defensive guy there. He lines up as wide receiver as well. My goodness, that was quite the hit there.
Good to see Ratana pop right back up.
Yeah, not shaking up after a play like that. Helmet-to-helmet hit. That was quite the bruiser. Garcia still on the field for the drive here. Had that one run. You see his presence in the pocket. Oftentimes as here he rolls out looking to throw. And he will go deep. He'll just chuck it up. Does he have a man? Just overthrown. I believe intended for. Yes, that is X-Man, Xavier Morozic de Jesus. Slightly overthrown by a couple yards. He might have had him by a step there, but was a tough throw as he was rolling out.
Absolutely, but that's the type of pass you're going to look to make to your all-conference receiver.
I like the deep shot there. Gutsy play there from Garcia, but why not let it fly and continue the momentum if you can for this Bulldogs offense. So now it'll be a 3rd and 14 for the Bulldogs.
And Morozic de Jesus was an absolute problem last year. 36 catches, 592 yards, and 5 touchdowns on the year.
Yeah, and the game I covered last year, man, it was against Glenbard South. I believe he had like 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. He is something special, and I guess that they'd look to get him involved here. As Garcia's going to chuck it up again, and he's, through the hands. He had him. It was an over-the-shoulder catch, tough ball for Morozic de Jesus, as we were just talking about him. That would have gone for a huge gain and obviously a first down, but couldn't come down with it. So we will see the punt unit, John Bilobrotic and company, come out for the Bulldogs now. I like the 2 shots, though, taken from the Bulldogs there. They were looking deep. I think they had him twice, both the same intended receiver in Morozic de Jesus. That's your speed demon there for the Bulldogs, him and Jaden Karras. They can get things going with their feet in the receiver room. Just couldn't find it there.
And absolutely, and you can't forget about Nico Caputo. Absolute little guy, but speed demon.
Here we go with Bilobrotic, the punt. He's got pretty good air. And off the helmet of Giacomelli. I don't know how further that would have gotten, but a funny moment there for the punt team. So they will have it around the 39, 38-yard line for the Hornets. Not terrible field position, not too backed up. We'll see what Skyler can do. for this Hornets offense. What do we think we see here for this drive? You think they go back to Burton in the run game here? I guess so.
I'd assume they're just trying to switch it up, as last week they went after that passing game. And I think the Bulldogs coaches are going to scout that, and they're going to see that they're throwing the ball a lot. I think they're going to assume they're going to go right back to that on the first drive, and they're going to switch it up.
We'll see. Why not stick to what's working, right? We'll see if Burton gets the touch here on first down for the Hornets, but I'd imagine he has a pretty recognizable impact on this drive eventually. As we called it there, he'll find a bit of a crease. Get a pretty decent gain there, as he'll try to keep the chains moving on first down. Should be around a 2nd and 3.
At the 46-yard line, that'll bring up 2nd down and
Bulldogs defense looking good tonight.
Yeah, the run defense, it'll be tough. I think Burton is, as we've seen so far, he's going to be, like I said, one of their impact guys for the Hornets. They'll give it to him when they feel like it. But in terms for that interior defensive line for the Bulldogs, we talked about him. Andrew Oliveras is a big one at nose tackle. He had 2 tackles last week. He's going to have to make his presence felt, big number 66, and get in on those dirty tackles in the middle as the running back tries to cut it up the hole. But we'll see what they do here on 2nd down for Skyler. Again, more motion this time to the right side for Morgan and number 88. As, a double handoff there for the Hornets. He breaks free. And a first down carry there for the Hornets.
That's going to be Jonathan Mansker, and he is 6'1", 190, and he is only a junior.
He is only a junior, so he's got good size for a third-year player. And I'd imagine he'd be a big part of their offense, if not this year, next year for the Hornets.
Especially because they're bringing back Dante Jett as well.
Yeah, man, to think about that he'll be back for another year with this Hornets offense is a scary sight. We haven't seen him have the ball in his hands yet tonight, as he's been shadowed by the one, the only, the GOAT, John Evans. But we'll see if they get him the ball here on this second drive. I wouldn't be shocked. Design run here for Skyler. He'll cut it upfield, and a big hit. He got a decent gain there, but they're not holding back on number 13.
No, Oscar Aguirre laid the absolute boom right there.
11 tackles last week. He will fly all over the football field if it means getting to that football on the defensive side. He's got the drip, the neon green cleats, looking good out there. The safety, let me tell you, man, these Bulldogs, they know how to dress. I don't know about you. We saw a couple guys pregame. They were dripped out, and out here on the field, it stays the same.
Shout out Tim Giacomelli.
There you go. Here we go. 2nd and medium for the Hornets, as we have a whistle here from the ref. As it appears as if they're pulling off Nieves. Might be a wardrobe issue. He's pointed to his elbow here. See if the trainer tries to work something out here.
They're going to send out Brandon Ruiz, the junior.
Yes, I played volleyball with that kid last year. I know all about him. We'll see how he does coming off the edge here.
With Biskupic.
Brady Miller in motion. Coming back. Looks as if this is designed for a run, as they'll hand it off to Burton again. He'll try to take the outside hole. Get a solid gain, maybe 4 or 5 there, but once the Bulldogs get around them, there's at least 5 or 6 defensive players ready to take him down. They will swarm around this ball. It seems as if Sam Styler and company on the coaching staff preaches just get to that ball, man. So here you go. You hear the music again. They love swag surfing. If I'm out there in that crowd right now, I'm having the time of my life, getting them going, swaying back and forth, baby. Yes, sir. A player that I expect to have a big impact tonight, we talked about him a bit pregame, Luke Ferguson. I think he's just a ticking time bomb waiting to get involved here. He's a big play hunter, and I think we'll see him at some point on the defensive side tonight.
Yeah.
It's a QB sneak. Not much motion there. Do they get the lean forward at the last second? It appears as if they might. It was a 3rd and 1, so they didn't need much for the Hornets. It is a 2-yard gain, and the Hornets will get the first down as they continue to move closer and closer to the Bulldogs' red zone.
And Ferguson takes advantage of the little mistakes that Hinsdale South is going to make. As you've seen it last year, he only played those 5 games, but when he was in those 5 games, he made a huge impact, picking up an interception, as that's going to be the end of the first quarter.
Well, the Bulldogs are up. Not much to complain about. It only took Riverside Brookfield 2 plays to get Jacob Bertana going. It was a key to our game, and they listened to us. I'd say Sam Styler, I mean, we told him, we were like, hey, get the kid going if you can. Big number 0, he's a senior, and he can run the ball like heck. If you can get him going, go ahead and do so. He nodded and agreed, and just like that, 2 plays is all it took for Ratana to get in the end zone on a big game.
Keep in mind, both plays went to Ratana, so.
It might have been because of us that he got in there. The more I think about it, Colin. But, pretty good first quarter, all things considered. Hornets will have the ball when we come back out on the field. But we saw that 4th down stop last offensive drive for the Hornets. That was a big play by the Bulldogs defense. And you can just feel the momentum and the energy for Riverside Brookfield is swaying their way right now. They got to carry that into the second quarter.
Absolutely, and I think the student section's playing a huge part of it. They're getting loud, and I think the players love to see that people are here to support.
Yes, week 1, or week 2, but home opener, how can you not?
Absolutely not, and Greek themed. How could you skip that?
Yes. Let's get Sendy, folks. Here's Skyler with Burton in the backfield. The common theme is they'll always have 5 there, partnered with number 13. They love him out there in that backfield. As they will fake the handoff, and the Bulldogs read it. He'll tumble forward, spin around, and get about a gain of 3 there. But the Bulldogs read that pretty well, so it'll be 2nd down, around 6 or 7.
That'll bring up 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9, excuse me. A couple of yards off, looked like more.
Yeah.
The Bulldogs defense is doing a great job so far tonight of reading Jackson Schuyler's eyes, both down the field when he's passing, and we've seen a couple design runs for him now. They seem to be all over it. Maybe he'll tumble forward for a couple extra yards, but generally speaking, it seems as if they're ready to pounce on him whenever they can.
Absolutely. And one of the guys that have been not making huge impacts, but I think will later this season, Anthony Lemke, as he was just in there and he made a huge tackle right there.
Whenever he's out on the field, he'll make his presence felt. Another handoff and another quality gain there from Mr. Isaiah Burton. I made sure to put an asterisk next to his name during the pregame because I knew he would be a big part, their starting running back. He's making his presence felt so far here in this first half. Like I said, 18 carries for almost 100 yards last week. Despite the loss, they got him going, and they appear to keep doing so here this week.
3rd and 3.
Big play here for the Bulldogs. I'd say outside of field goal range for a high schooler. So if they can get this stop here, force him to go for it. If not, punt, try to pin him. Maybe the Hornets try to pin him, but it would be a big stop here for this Bulldogs defense. We have yet to see Ben Biskupic make a big play. We'll see if one of these guys off the edge can get to the quarterback. Granted, we haven't seen a lot of passing plays yet, but I know they're hungry for a bull rush here. Let's see what the Bulldogs do.
Biskupic.
Yes. They might be sending blitz. Man in motion. It's Brady Miller with the snap, the handoff, and that will be likely enough for a Hornets first down, so they keep it going, a gain of 5 for Burton.
Spotted on the 24-yard line. That'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Hornets on the Bulldog 24.
Pierce Morgan a little slow to get up there. That's not one of the guys that Hinsdale South is going to want to see go down, as he's in motion almost every play.
Yeah, he'll get out there and block for the Hornets. We haven't seen much from the receiving corps yet. Like we said, and like we've seen, they haven't thrown the ball around a lot. Jackson Schuyler hasn't. So Lamarius Moore, Elijah Chrisman, and Dante Jett, the big guy that we've been targeting, circling all week. They haven't gotten the ball yet. But like Luke Ferguson, ticking time bomb. I think these guys are just moments away from getting the ball. We'll see what they do and try to get them involved here in the offense for the Hornets. 1st and 10, fresh set of downs. They'll hand it off again. Why not continue to do what's working, as another swarm of Bulldogs is there to wrap him up, but not before he can get around a gain of 4 or 5.
5-yard gain on the run play for the Hornets. Ball is on the 19-yard line. That'll bring up.
And Isaiah Burton's averaging about 5 to 6 to 7 yards per carry right now. I mean, he's just been an absolute dog so far this game.
He is, and you got to give credit to the Hornets' offensive line. Guys like Alan Martinez, Cameron Johnson, Jamar Pittman, those guys out there, and big number 74, David Guybu. Man, he is huge, and he will block his butt off to get Burton going.
Don't want to mess with him.
No, sticks out like a sore thumb out there. Here we go. Schuyler, what will he do? Will he finally throw the ball? It's another design run, and he'll get stuffed but continue to move forward. A pile of Bulldogs fall on top of him for a couple of yards there. Looks to be 3rd down here for the Hornets. Inside the 20-yard line, so inside the Dogs' red zone. This is an important series of events here for the Bulldogs defense.
Absolutely. And getting close to halftime, we're going to want to get one more score in before Hinsdale South gets the ball coming out of halftime.
Absolutely. The Hornets will have the ball to start the second half, but we got to hope that the Bulldogs keep the hot hand. If they can score, like you just said, once more on offense or defense, we won't be too picky. If they get the ball back here, which I'd imagine they will with plenty of time, that would be ideal. But first, we have to get through this series for the Hornets. They'll run it back, and a huge hit in the open field. Big number 7. That's Anthony Lemke. You pointed him out just a couple moments ago. he makes his presence felt again. How about that for number 7?
Absolutely, and it doesn't matter if you're starting or coming off the bench. If you're going to make an impact, you're going to get that playing time, and that's what Anthony Lemke's done so far this season.
Absolutely. Takes advantage of every moment he's out there on that turf. As Skyler walks back into the huddle to break it for his teammates to see what they will do here on 4th and 2. They will go for it again, the Hornets at the 16. What will they do here?
Might as well, only down 7.
Here we go. As the moon shines here on Bulldog Field, the dog pound. They'll hand it off, and he might fall forward. It'll be close. He might have gotten that ball across for a Hornets first down as they inch closer to the end zone. We'll see where they spot it.
Do we see a Dante Jet fade ball here?
Man, let me tell you, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, his frame, it sticks out. You can't ignore it, and I think if you're the offensive coordinator, you're the play caller for this Hornets offense, you got to get it to him eventually, you feel like, right?
Absolutely, and he just sticks out over that Hornets huddle. I mean, you see his head no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen John Evans be assigned with him all night. He's done a good job so far. Whenever Skyler's held on to that ball, he'll motion to the left. Look for him. He'll float it in the back of the end zone. Is that a diving catch? Did he get it in? No signal yet. That is a touchdown. Number 1, Lamarius Moore. And the Hornets will look to tie it up here with the extra point, but a nice diving play in the corner of the end zone for the Hornets.
As we said, it's going to be an absolute shootout, and that was a nice play from Skyler and Moore. So,
took him a minute, about halfway through the second quarter, for the Hornets to get going, get into the red zone, and get into the end zone. But they did just that, targeting the receiver that they didn't get going as much last week because of Dante Jet's production. But Lamarius Moore, he got number 1 for a reason. You can't just pick that and not have a reason to wear it on this football team. He got it, and he got the ball in the end zone there for 6. And we are all tied up here with 6:20 left to go in the first half.
Mason nearly getting to the kicker there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting a little close.
He did last week. Maybe he'll do it again tonight. He teases us every time on. As we'll see a replay here of the touchdown, a diving catch. From here, it almost looked like he didn't have control and get under the ball, but apparently he did so. We'll trust the officials on it, and it was a nice diving catch. Good ball placement there from Skyler, as we see with the slow-mo.
Looks like he brought it in.
Looks like he brought it in. I'll take the ref's word for it. We're all tied up here at 7 apiece with 6:20 to go. The Bulldogs offense is going to have to respond. You think we see G back out here again?
I think we do. I think he's the leader of this team right now, coming back for his 2nd year starting. I think the people love him, and I think the coaches love him, and I love the way he competes. So I think keep G out there for now.
Well, I think they love G and Braden. I think they love him equally, but because we know the talent that they both share. Giancarlo with his legs, Braden with his arm. He flashed it last week, but they'll use them accordingly. We'll see what the Bulldogs bring out here as, guess who? Skyler ready to kick off for the Hornets. I mean, he is just everywhere. 13 can't get himself off the field. Bulldogs will regain possession here. As another shorter kick. Evans nearly muffs it, but he holds on somehow. Gets rocked, and he'll fall forward for a couple of yards. Bulldogs will start at their own 42-yard line as we have a Hornet down on the field. That appears to be number 6, Alamir Almani, the linebacker, man on defense for the Hornets. Helmet is off, and we hope he's okay. As we use this break here, I felt good about G so far. I mean, the two deep shots, they didn't connect. They were both intended for Xavier Morozic de Jesus. Like we said, we know he's a deep threat. Once the ball gets in his hands, he's a force to be reckoned with. Obviously, he didn't get it in the breadbasket, but once that connection gets there for Giancarlo or Braden Novak, it's ball game.
And I love the look. I mean, I like it that they're letting G show his arm off a little bit, because last week he did only throw the ball 6 times.
Yes.
So it's been great to see him out there.
As the Hornet player down, number 6,
but
is still being attended to. Hopefully just a cramp, nothing more than that, as the Bulldogs offense remains in the huddle here.
We're going to see a quarterback switch here as Braden Novak is out there in the huddle.
Wow, there we go. You heard it here first, folks. They're looking to bring Mr. Bubba out there. We'll see what he can do. Like we said, we saw flashes with his arm last week. Obviously, we weren't there for the game as it was away versus Niles West, but he did enough, just enough. 35-27 for the win. 8 for 13, 157, 3 touchdowns. He got 3 of them into the end zone. We'll see if he can do at least once or twice here tonight. I'd expect so for the strong arm.
I mean, I said it before, coming up from JV, having 3 touchdowns and 157 yards in your first game, I mean, you can't really complain about that.
Solid first impression as The Hornets player is still being attended to as we wait to get back out on the field. Hope he's okay. So he'll be helped off the field, not putting any weight on his leg. Gotta hope he's okay. You never like to see that, obviously. Pretty impactful player. He showed up on the stat sheet last week for Hinsdale South in some capacity. He was a starting linebacker, so we hope he can return to the field at some point tonight. Here we go as the Bulldogs offense takes the field. As we have none other than number 9, Braden Novak, taking over at quarterback. We'll see. Do they get him going with the arm first play, or do they hand it off? We have 2 running backs here in the backfield. I believe that is Nick Caputo and Ratana, the man who scored the first touchdown of the game. We'll see what they do here.
We also got Bila Bradick lined up on the right side, as he is our kicker, wide receiver, and defensive back.
He can do it all, baby. He had 2 receptions last week for 33 yards. One was an out route towards the sideline. They'll hand it off here. And the quick feed of Caputo bounces it outside for a nice little gain there on the first rush of the drive for the Bulldogs.
Like to see the young guys getting going.
Yeah.
As we see, it's mostly a senior-based team, but two junior quarterbacks, a nice junior running back, wide receiver combo. I mean, you can't really complain with this offense right now.
Not at all. Caputo last week, week 1, had 6 carries for 57 yards with a long of 32. So he was able to at least break one free for a pretty big gain. We'll see if he can do so again tonight. Braden takes another snap here, his second snap as the starter here for the Bulldogs. And a bit of a botch snap, but Ratana breaking tackles, stumbling forward. And that'll be a first down for the Bulldogs. You got to love what you're seeing from Ratana so far tonight.
Absolutely, and those legs just keep on churning. I mean, I see the resemblance to Saquon Barkley, other great NFL running backs, because his legs just keep pumping. And he does deadlift almost 400, 500 pounds. So you can see it as he's running.
Man, I wish I could do that. Here we go. Novak here on a fresh set of downs after the rush from Ratana. Look to the sideline as we see the play caller give him the play here. Novak takes the snap and hands it off again to Caputo. The quick feet shine once more. He'll cut it back inside. We have a flag down. Oh, and a late push there from number 10. And quite the characteristic flop there from Riverside Brookfield's Lagaikis, number 77. That might tack on a couple extra yards there. You can't do that if you're Hinsdale South. That'll cost you.
Oh, gosh.
Quite the acting job there from Lagaikis as he flopped around that football field at the 50-yard line to hopefully get a couple more yards.
I mean, you'd love to see it, sacrificing your body for your team for a couple extra yards.
It almost looked WWE-esque there. So it is a block in the back for the Bulldogs. But will it even out with the personal foul? The late push from number 10 on the Hornets. That was, oh man, that's tough. Maxim Vitruk, the tight end and defensive lineman, plays both offense and defense. You can't do that if you're the Hornets. That'll cost you. Obviously, they had the block in the back for the Bulldogs, but in critical moments, stupid plays like that will cost you if you're RB or Hinsdale South.
And as Sam Seiler did say on our podcast, he was talking about minimizing the stupid little penalties and other little penalties. And so far, the Bulldogs have been playing pretty clean. First penalty of the day.
I'd say so. Sharp so far. Football, high school, college, and the pros. It's all about the little things. If you can't nail those, you're not going to be able to do what you want to do outside of them. As we move forward here, and the Bulldogs, as the refs will pick up the laundry, Bulldogs will have it at around the 38.
That'll bring up 1st and 5. Correction, 2nd down. 2nd and 5 for the Bulldogs.
Here we go. Bubba breaking the huddle.
38-yard line.
I'm ready to see his arm get loose.
I am too. We got 4 receivers out there right now.
We'll see what the Bulldogs come out here after the bit of a break from the flags. Botch snap, and they'll have to fall on it. I believe the Bulldogs did, in fact, fall on it. Novak did, as he'll pick it up. But a waste of a down there. We'll see if they can pick it up here on 3rd down.
And with Bubba being a young quarterback, you're going to see these mistakes early. Varsity is a whole nother level. I mean, you all talk about it. You could play JV, you could play freshman, but when you step onto that varsity field, everyone's bigger, everyone's faster, and you got to adjust to the speed of the game. And so far, Bubba Novak's been doing a good job, but little mistakes like that, you are going to see it.
The lights are, in fact, brighter once you step on the varsity field, especially at quarterback. He will look to throw. Does he have a man deep? He's got zip on it. And he will go. Touchdown, Riverside Brookfield.
It's Jaden Karras.
Through the air. Double twos. Throw him up. Touchdown, Bulldogs. What a way to respond. Through the air, we talked about it. Novak has quite the arm. How about the zip on that throw from number 9?
I mean, that spiral was just beautiful.
Man,
I mean,
chef's kiss, no pun intended there. Bilo Broddick back out there to kick the PAT to make it a 14-7, hopefully. Bulldogs lead as we inch closer to halftime.
and you love to see that from the quarterbacks so far. I mean, they're letting it fly, and it's looking great.
High snap there. Bilo Broddick able to kick it through, thankfully. As we have the replay coming up of this beautiful ball from Braden Novak. You can see it just looks so poised in the pocket, steps up. Absolutely filthy. Jaden Karras, what a weapon he is. Him and Xavier, 2 lifelong friends, we know that. So the chemistry in the receiver room and the quarterback room, I think it's so cool, the atmosphere of this quarterback room. You have Garcia out there making plays with his legs. Novak out there making plays with his arm. And it's not like we're sugarcoating that because they are making these plays. They're getting these sizable gains on the ground and through the air. You gotta love it if you're Sam Styler and this coaching staff for the Bulldogs.
Absolutely. And one of the things Sam Styler has talked about is the connection in the locker room right now. Even with this ongoing quarterback battle, these 2 quarterbacks are still great friends. They're still great teammates, and they're still working together to make sure this team is a family. They're playing like a family right now.
Absolutely. The bond matters. Tight-knit football here for the Bulldogs. Gotta love it. 14-7 with 4:33 to play. The Hornets will get the ball back. We'll see where they get it back after the kickoff, but you gotta be feeling good if you're a Bulldogs fan in the student section, on the coaching staff, on the bench, wherever you are. Watching at home here on the broadcast. You got to be feeling good about both sides of the ball here for the Bulldogs early on in this first half. As Bilo Broddick is back there to kick it off for Riverside Brookfield. See where this one goes. He waves and kicks it off. Here we go. As it will bounce and eventually go out of bounds, which will cause a flag. Bit of an unlucky play there for the Bulldogs, as if the Hornets player wouldn't have slipped, maybe he would have, maybe he would have coughed it up, got it, ran it back, and avoided the flag. But the Hornets will get a couple more yards off of that flag there.
And this is the stuff Sam Styler's talking about. Some stuff's just not going to go your way.
Absolutely.
As what happened right there. But they do need to try to minimize these penalties and not give Hinsdale South these yards, as they are going to try to shut them out the rest of the game.
As the defense storms back on the field.
The Hornets will take over with a 1st and 10.
Would mean a lot to this sideline and this team if they can get out of this drive, this Hornets drive early. If they can shut it down, maybe a 3 and out. If they can contain the run game. Not get Burton going here on this drive. That would be huge for them if they could possibly get the ball back, get back in the scoring range before the end of this first half if you're the Bulldogs.
Force a turnover would be great.
As Skyler will step up and use his legs, eventually be brought down around the 40-yard line, their own 40-yard line. The Bulldogs won't allow much after that. It'll be 2nd down here for Hinsdale South.
And so far, the Hornets haven't broken out for any massive plays. Like we saw Ratana have a huge run, but other than that, Hinsdale South has not really broken out for longer than maybe a 8-9 yard run.
Is it crazy to say they might be scared to throw? I mean, it goes without saying that this Bulldogs secondary is a force to be reckoned with. We mentioned them in the pregame. You have Warren Mason, Oscar Aguirre back there as your 2 safeties, Free and Strong, and John Evans, the man who's been shadowing and locking down Dante Jett, big number 14 all night tonight so far. Got to hope that continues if you're the Bulldogs.
And could we say Dante Jett was maybe beginner's luck? First varsity game coming out with 180 yards.
Yeah, we don't want to
touchdowns.
speak too soon, as a run design snap there, and the Bulldogs are all over it. They're not having any of that, and they're wanting to get off the field, this Bulldogs defense, to get the offense back out there. We have another Hornets player down. Can't catch just who that is, but he is clutching his shoulder. That's never good to see. This Bulldogs defense holding their own so far. Like I said, I've said numerous times now, you got to be feeling good. Safeties have been making their plays. Warren Mason, we saw early on in this game, get in there for a pretty noticeable tackle. Got in there, pumped his fist, started flexing on the crowd, getting them going. You got to love the atmosphere here at the Dog Pound. Fans are going. They have the lead 14-7. You got to be feeling good right now.
Absolutely. And walking around before the game, you just felt the atmosphere.
You did.
Even before, during this junior varsity game, you felt the varsity guys. You felt they were locked in. They had their hoods up. They got their headphones in. They all looked ready to roll.
We talked to a couple of them along the the sidelines pregame. John Evans, Ben Biskupik, a couple of them, Warren Mason. They all seemed calm, cool, and collected. That's what you'd like to see from your varsity guys before the game. They're not nervous. They don't seem nervous. Maybe they are inside a little bit, but they're going to shove all that away once it comes to kickoff. And they've done so far. 14-7 lead. As here we go. Sound the siren. Swag Surfer's going here on 3rd and 6. A huge play as me and Colin sway back and forth in the booth. Getting hyped up here on third medium for the Hornets.
This will be a huge stop for the Dogs here.
This Bulldogs defense, especially the defensive backfield, can force turnovers. Skyler makes one wrong play. Could be bad news for Hinsdale South. He'll look to throw, and he will escape the pressure. Still has the ball in his hands. He'll loft it, and it'll be out of bounds. Somehow stayed up for 8 or 9 seconds there, but got the ball away, eventually avoided a sack. But it is a 4th down nonetheless. They will look to punt here. Bulldogs will have some time to make something happen once they get back on offense here.
Jaden Karras.
Back to return.
Along with Morozic de Jesus. Can we see them take it back?
We'll see. Morozic de Jesus had the 2 deep shots intended for him earlier. Obviously couldn't connect. But Karras already has a touchdown tonight. We saw him get going in the receiving end. Can he do so in the punt return? Should be fun to watch here if they can get one in their hands here.
Absolutely. And depending on the quarterback situation, it looks like G's warming up to get going on the sideline, holding the ball.
We'll see.
Depending on who they bring out.
Staying warm either way. Bit of a high snap there for the punt. We'll boot it away. That's a short one. Squabbler. Luckily, it'll bounce their way. That's a good bounce, all things considered. Looked short off the leg, but still rolling, and it'll take a Hornets bounce right past the Bulldogs' 20-yard line. So Bulldogs will have to make up some yardage here out with just over 3 minutes to go in the second quarter, holding a 1-score lead. We've said multiple times now, got to be feeling good, but you have to keep this momentum. Don't make any stupid mistakes to end this first half if you're the Bulldogs. Play safe, play clean, but still maintain that momentum, right, Colin?
Yeah, and absolutely. As we're going to see Braden Novak head back out there after that beautiful pass last drive.
Man, I'm still not over that, man. That was beautiful.
And I did talk to G this morning before the game, and he did say he might take a couple snaps at the running back position tonight.
Interesting. Wow. Well, we know all too well what he can do with his feet. Wouldn't surprise me if we did eventually see that here tonight. Novak motioned out to the right side. He'll look to throw, and he's got Caputo. Another sharp pass for a gain past the 40-yard line. 2 for 2 so far for Novak.
I mean, you can't ask for a better throw than that. On the run, over the shoulder,
Dime.
I mean, that's a beautiful pass.
Absolute dive. And those throws, you may not know it as a watcher, as a viewer of the game, but they're tough to make on the run. Those are cross-body throws along the sideline, right where it needed to be for Caputo to get a noticeable gain.
Absolutely.
As the Bulldogs will look to keep moving here. Going to have to go a bit quicker in terms of pace as we are inching closer. Novak fakes the throw, will hand it off and get about 3 or 4 yards on that rush. I like what I've seen so far from the Bulldogs offense in terms of blocking. You've seen a couple holes created. Obviously, Ratana had the big touchdown early. He found the hole there, but it doesn't go without saying that's because of this Bulldogs offense, their tight ends and their receivers doing their job, putting their hands on the defensive back shoulders.
And speaking of some tight ends, Jake Dudzik, Nick Baca, Jaden Barrett, JB, as everyone calls him.
Got a bunch of big dudes in that tight end room. Yes, absolutely. Here's Novak with the snap. Will look to throw again. Step up in the pocket. He'll have to tuck the ball and run. He'll do just so. Big hit, but not without moving forward. That's a Bulldogs first down as they'll keep moving, this time past midfield, getting closer where they need to be to score.
And you love to see that diversity from Bubba Novak as he's been slinging it, and he will also use his legs as well. I mean, you'd love to see a well-rounded quarterback like that.
Absolutely. We talk about this Bulldogs quarterback room, and when you think of the running side of things for the Bulldogs, you think of Giancarlo Garcia, but don't doubt number 9, as we just saw. Braden Novak got things going there with his legs. Take the snap, look to throw again, and a quick dump off there.
That's Nick Baca.
Nick Baca will get a nice gain there near the 40-yard line. They keep moving with good pace. They're going to have to keep rolling, though, here As the 2-minute situation shines here for the Bulldogs, the clock is still ticking as we are just over a minute and a half here before the end of the first half. Not sure if they have much time for a run here. They might try to keep going with things through the air. Novak has looked sharp so far, so not a bad idea for the Bulldogs, Sam Styler and company.
They do have 3 timeouts.
Oh, did he jump? They're going to say no. And this coaching staff knows they got to hurry up here as we are approaching a minute to go at the 40-yard line for Riverside Brookfield. Novak takes the snap. We'll look outside, has Caputo. Can he beat out that defender? And he will get out of bounds. That is what's most important. So get a nice gain there. Keep it moving forward around, maybe just past the 35 for the Bulldogs.
And you love to see the speed from the low guy getting around the outside. Yeah. I mean, beats his defender all day.
I got to say, I didn't doubt, but I overlooked Nico Caputo going into this game. Seeing how quick he is on the field, you can't not notice it, right? And he is just, with the ball in his hands especially, the Bulldogs have a lot of agile receivers and playmakers on this offense. So many fun toys for Sam Styler to play with.
Absolutely, and you're going to see Jaden Karras on the right side, one-on-one.
Novak looks deep, and that is an overthrow. Was looking for Karras there in the center of the end zone. Why not let it fly a couple yards too long? But obviously they are looking to score here with just under a minute to go in this first half.
Absolutely. And you're not going to want to get off the field too quick. You're going to want to drain that clock, not give Hinsdale South another chance to score.
You gotta
keep your defense off the field.
Yeah, you got to think about that as well if you are the Bulldogs. Because who knows? We know that the Hinsdale South Hornets, if they can get the ball to the right guys in the right situation, they can take it to the house too. We can't doubt, like we said, Dante Jett and some of their other receivers that can break it free. We saw Lamarius Moore break free for a touchdown in the back corner of the end zone earlier. Novak will look to throw. Does he have a man? Off the hands of Morozic de Jesus again. He struggled tonight so far as we see back-to-back over-the-shoulder catches that he just can't come down with.
And those are tough. They're tough for a high school receiver, and I just think we got to get quarterbacks hitting them in stride, as it's a tough catch to make even for some NFL receivers.
Absolutely. I mean, you see those kind of drops all the time at all levels. I mean, keeping your eye on that ball as it's going over your head, even just imagining that on your couch, you can imagine it's tough to come down with those balls. Nonetheless, it'll be 3rd and 10 here with 50 seconds to go for the Bulldogs at the 36-yard line of the Hornets. Going to have to move it here, probably pretty deep. Look for a pass here from Novak. Hornets send the blitz. Running back picks up the block. Novak will look to run it, and he will go out of bounds. Bit of a late hit there, but they won't call anything. No laundry on the field. It'll be 4th down for the black and blue.
I think you got to go to a pass here. Don't got a lot of time to run.
No, obviously they look to be going with it. 44 seconds left to go in this half. You're on the Hornets side of the field. What's really to lose here other than to let it fly, try to get this first down at the very least, but hopefully get it in the end zone. That's your end result.
And this may be slightly out of Bielebredic's range, as this is a very deep field goal.
You got to think high school kickers are not of the same caliber. Not doubting his leg, but it is a tough field goal for anybody nonetheless. Novak looking at the sideline. Clock is stopped at 44 seconds. Bulldogs up 14-7. As they will call a timeout here and talk things over here with under a minute to go in the second quarter. Colin, what do we think so far this drive?
Not too shabby for starting out on the 20-yard line. They're marching for sure, and Braden Novak's played a huge part in that, using his legs, using his arm. He's made a couple really nice plays so far.
I mean, he looks like a senior out there with his arm. It's really impressive. The zip he has, not only the accuracy, but the zip he has on these throws, the strength, the arm strength you see from him is very impressionable and great to see. And if you're Sam Styler, you have to be excited about that because you have this at least for another year.
Yeah, and if you saw it, you would not believe it's his second varsity game, but he looks like he's a seasoned pro.
He does. He does look like a veteran out there. You hope that continues. No sloppy mistakes for the Bulldogs here as we near the end of this timeout with under a minute to go in the second quarter. What an exciting game so far. We've seen 3 scores all around. Obviously, the Bulldogs are up 2 scores to 1. You got to think that theme continues. We expected it going into this one, right? We talked about the potential shootout. It's a 1-score game still, so it's not like the door has been blown open yet by any means. The Hornets can absolutely, and they still are in this game. You can't doubt them by any means. The Bulldogs will look to score again here. It's going to be tough on 4th and 5.
Morozic de Jesus on an island. Can we see a deep ball to him?
On the front side, on the left side of your screen here. Novak He's going to have to step up, dance inside the pocket. He'll run and probably be short of the first down. He's taking these hits here, not what you love to see for your quarterback. You want to keep him clean, but he is fighting for that extra yardage to keep the Bulldogs on the field. They will turn it over on downs, as the Hornets will have just over half a minute to try and do something here on offense. They'll be backed up to their own around 25-yard line, but we'll see what they can do here.
I wouldn't doubt Jackson Schuyler and Dante Jett.
They have to throw it here. I mean, you have 35 seconds to get something going. You have about 75, 70 yards to make up on this for the Hornets offense right now. Got to think they try and chuck one up deep for number 14 or another one of those offensive targets. We'll see what they do here. Schuyler under center with Burton still in the backfield, as we might have another timeout here. No, it's a flag against the Bulldogs. Too many men on the field. We'll see what the call is. Counting the helmets right now as we speak. 1, 2, 3. Is that 12 men on the field?
It is.
It is. My guess served me correct. So that'll move the Hornets a couple yards closer. Still, got a lot of room to go if you're the Hornets offense. Jackson Schuyler coming.
First and 5 from the 33-yard line.
Have to imagine Bulldogs try to get a sack here, negate any possible positive yardage for this Bulldogs offense. Schuyler's going to have to run out to his right. He's going to zip it and picked off. No, just out of the hands of Oscar Aguirre. We talked about those safeties swarming and being all over that football. Oscar Aguirre nearly had himself a turnover there.
As I'm looking down at the bench right now, I got Coach Vojak giving him some lessons to G and Bubba. I mean, you love to see it. I mean, you got to get these young quarterbacks developed, and having them for another year is just absolutely huge.
Absolutely. If you can get Schuyler to roll out and make him feel uncomfortable, right? Have him to, be forced to make those rough decisions. As we just saw, he threw it into double coverage. Aguirre almost had himself an interception here to end the half. That'll be what wins the Bulldogs the game, I think. Negating any possible deep plays for the Hornets. And the ball game's all yours if you're the Bulldogs. Schuyler will look to throw. Will have to roll out, roll back in, and he might get sacked. Yes, he will. Bulldogs are all over him. Was that Nieves there on the sack? I'll tell you, it might have been the whole Bulldogs defensive front ended up on top of number 13 there. That might end this first half. Clock is still ticking. And it appears as if they will. Ref will hold the ball, and that will do it for the first half. How about it, Colin? 14-7 Bulldogs. Got to be feeling good. Offense, defense, special teams. All sides of the ball have been performing well for this Riverside Brookfield team.
Absolutely. And we said it was going to be an absolute shootout, and that's what it's been so far. I mean, you've seen great plays from both offenses, great plays from both defenses. As we saw the Bulldogs defense really pick it up right there and make 2 huge stops.
Yeah, just before we go to break here real quick, I want to talk about the 2 quarterbacks once again. You have to be feeling fantastic. Braden Novak getting the job done so far through the air. Giancarlo Garcia doing his job as well. Can't have any complaints about his performance so far as we sent it in to halftime. Bulldogs 14, Hornets 7.
for all your help, guys. Keep on the good work. Good deal.
I was playing the game before this. Oh, well. I want to get out of here. Good seeing you again. Good seeing you too.
All right, folks, we are back after a little bit of technical difficulties. We apologize for that. The second half getting underway. Hornets will have the ball here to start it. 14-7 Bulldogs. We liked what we saw from all three sides of the ball. Colin, what do we think here?
Absolutely. They look great. I mean, they look well prepared. They're sticking to the game plan. And, I mean, the defense has just been great so far.
I'd agree. Like we said, all three sides of the ball, we've liked what we've seen so far. Have little to no complaints about the quarterback room. Braden Novak finishing the first half out for the Bulldogs. Had some real sharp throws. As you can hear the student section, man, they are roaring. You hear them barking out there. You just can't go unnoticed. We actually got word during halftime that there was an overflow, so much of an overflow that they had to start shifting students out. So it's safe to say they packed the place for this home opener. Ball will roll, and the Hornets will pick it up, try to make a move inside, but not before they are ganged up on at the 20-yard line.
And Anthony Lemke back in there again making plays. I mean, he is just such a high-impact player that goes so unnoticed.
Absolutely. The junior number 7. If he's not on defense, he's out there on special teams, and he is getting to that football. You got to appreciate guys like that on your football team if you're Sam Styler.
Absolutely.
So here we'll see the second half for Jackson Schuyler. Not a whole lot going for him through the air. Didn't really attempt a whole lot, obviously, but it'd be interesting to see if they take a different approach. I think if you're the Bulldogs in this defense, you have to be focused on shutting down number 5, Isaiah Burton. He had a lot of quality gains on, the first and 10s and the second and mediums for this Hinsdale South team, as they'll give it right back to him there. Seems to be continuing that theme around a gain of 5 or 6 for this Hornets offense.
And something we might see this half is maybe looking a little away from Isaiah Burton and looking to Dante Jett. He was quiet that first half.
He was, absolutely.
Did he have a single catch? I don't think he did.
He didn't. He had that one target towards the end zone, but Evans was there to disrupt it and make sure nothing happened there. But it should be interesting to see. I feel like he's too big of a target to not be targeted at least a couple of times this game. I'd imagine we'll see something here, maybe a package to get him going for this Hornets offense. Another handoff. Just to be a recurring theme, and he lays the boom. My goodness, Warren Mason, make a statement, kid. What a hit.
And some say 5 can't hit, but 5 can most definitely hit.
5 can most definitely hit. That gets 5 big booms there, Colin. How about it? There we go, baby. So this Hornets offense, they'll keep pounding the rock. They love to do it. That's been their identity all game so far. As here you hear swag surfing, folks. I hope it picks up on the broadcast because it is electric.
3rd and 2.
Styler hyping his guys up, getting the student section going. Looking to get this 3rd and 2 stop here for the Bulldogs defense. The music will cut. Skyler will snap it. Maybe look for the handoff here. As they will give it to him. Gets wrapped up. Did he get that ball across where it needed to go? He might have. It'll be close. We'll see.
Warren Mason and Pierce Morgan getting into it a little bit deeper down on the field.
And this looks to be a 4th and inches. Did the Bulldogs get the stop? Punt unit will come out, it appears, as we see Jaden Karras, number 22, and Xavier run out, number 6. We see well over 11 guys out on the field right now for the Hornets as they look to figure things out. Skyler's still on the field. Is he punting, Colin? I mean,
punting, passing, kicking?
He is.
I mean,
he's got an arm, he's got a leg. They're using all of his limbs here tonight, this Hornets staff. So, wow, man.
Maybe a fake punt? I mean, he could be.
We'll see. He's got legs. Karras back to return. High snap goes over his head. This could be a nightmare. He'll get it off. High punt, not past midfield. Bulldogs will get out of the way. It'll bounce. Flags fly. Oh, my goodness. John Evans just got walloped by a swarm of Hornets trying to push him onto the ball. He looks furious right now. What just happened? We have a flag out on the field. We'll see. Let's get ironed out here in the next couple of seconds.
Many things, but especially on a punt like that, you want to get away from the ball because if you touch that ball, that is a live ball.
It is a live ball.
Hornets can jump on top of that.
It appears as if what they were trying to do with John Evans there, number 10, try to get him on that ball so the Hornets could regain possession.
Flag for a sideline warning on the Bulldogs.
The flag is for a sideline warning. Got to keep composure there if you are the Bulldogs. Don't want to get too out of hand there. Obviously, being hyped up, being fired up is good, but you don't want to let it get too out of hand if you are the Bulldogs. Is Mason there. Warren Mason on the sidelines. I don't know if you can see him on your screen, folks, but he is riled up. I'd imagine trying to keep these Bulldogs alive and steady here in this second half as we get things underway.
And this is where you need your senior leaders to step up. You got to keep your guys calm. And you're seeing that out of Ben Biskupic. You're seeing that out of John Evans Jr. You're seeing that even out of your junior quarterbacks. They are keeping these guys calm as Giancarlo Garcia will lead the offense back out onto the field.
Well, we started the first half with Giancarlo Garcia. We'll start the second half with him as well. Maybe we'll see a handoff here, a designed run, but we know his feet are special. He'll actually look to throw here towards the sideline and overthrown. No flags there. Number 2 on the coverage for Hinsdale South. That is Anthony Sansoni on the coverage. Pretty good coverage there. Looked a little grabby both sides, but either way it was an overthrow, and it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs. Giancarlo Garcia now.
Absolutely. And the coaches are all over the defense right now. They got to keep them composed.
Absolutely.
As they're going to play a huge role in keeping this shootout close.
And the Bulldogs appeared to get him to jump. I believe that's the 2nd time that's happened tonight. So that should give the Bulldogs some yardage here and room to work with.
And that's going to be number 56, Robert Leon Gonzalez for the Hornets.
6'1", 250. He is a junior. That is a junior mistake to make there on 2nd down for the Hornets. So they seem to be moving with a little pace here. Hornets are rushing on the defensive side of the ball. Look to be scrambling to get to their guys, to their assignments. Garcia looks to the sideline. What's the play call? We're about to find out here. Garcia snaps. Will look to throw. And that ball is short, intended for Ratana in the backfield as we see a flag fly late. Might have been a late push. It appeared to be in the defensive backfield near the Hornets. We'll see.
Looks like it's going to be on the Hornets there as Bill Bradick just drew a penalty late.
Can't complain about that. A little bit of a sloppier start to the second half for both the Hornets and the Bulldogs. Not as clean and as concise as you've seen from both teams early in the first half.
And we're going to see them pull Garcia off the field and switch to Novak in the middle of the possession. Let's see if he can pick up this sloppy start so far.
And that's a testament to how much Sam Styler and this coaching staff trust their quarterback room. To be able to switch quarterbacks like that in the middle of a possession, in the middle of a drive, they trust their guys to get things going here. Braden Novak out there to break the huddle. We'll see what they do, see if they get his arm up and running here in this second half. 14-7 Bulldogs, 9 minutes to go here in the third.
Novak will hand it off to Ratana. Couple of bouncy moves out there. Remember, it is 1st and 10 there on that play. Fresh set of downs. So 2 or 3 yard gain there for Ratana. I've liked what I've seen from number 0 tonight. We saw, obviously, the big breakthrough touchdown to set the tone early. But other than that, he's also got some pretty nice gains. He's found the hole. It's been a recurring theme here tonight for the running back room.
And something Sam Styler said on our podcast was, he says Ratana does the little stuff. He blocks, he plays hard. It doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but he is one of the most impactful players out there on that field.
Like I brought it up in the first half, the little things are most important on any level of football. If you can't do those things, you won't find yourself out on the field. Novak will look to throw. He'll wind up over the middle of the field. He's got his man, Karras, running circles and gets a gain of about 15 there for the Bulldogs.
And one of the things we wanted to break up, Karras had such a nice deep ball in that first half, and he is just back out there making plays. Like, you love to see that from your senior receivers.
Yes.
And even though Morozic de Jesus has those 2 drops, they need to keep him involved.
Absolutely.
As he is a leader. He is their all-conference receiver. They need to get the ball to him.
All-conference speaks for itself. And back to Karras for a second. We could talk and shower with compliments Braden Novak and that ball all we want, but that catch, way to stay composed, way to bring it down, way to bring it into the chest. Here's Novak, looks to throw. He's got his man deep. Wide open, guess who? Double 8s. Touchdown, Bulldogs. He takes the hit. He's in for 6. And this offense keeps barking, baby. John Bilo-Broddick, the senior, in for 6.
And we talk about it, getting your seniors involved. Next play, nice pass to your senior as you're getting hit.
Right on cue for the Bulldogs. And guess what? He's staying out there on that field. He's got to kick the extra point here. He's got to pull up his pants there and make sure he's all good. Hope he's not shaking up after that big hit. Looked like he was waiting for it at the pylon there. He was like, yeah, you want to hit me? Come and hit me. But I'm getting in there for 6.
And Braden Novak coming in there making a huge play. That's what you love to see out of him. And that is some leader mentality. He is looking great so far.
Just the way they spread things out in this Bulldogs team is so awesome. So awesome. In the quarterback room, running back room, we've seen Caputo get going. He had a pretty long reception as a receiver in the first half, towards the end of the first half. Bilo-Broddick, obviously high school football, guys have to play offense and defense, but the Bulldogs, they have so many players that play both sides at a high level. It's so special to see as Bilo-Broddick nails that one through. He's 3 for 3 on his extra points. Can't complain on offense, can't complain at kicker for Bilo-Broddick tonight.
I mean, and we're going to see a replay from John Bilo-Broddick's nice touchdown catch.
So here we see Novak rolls out again with a defender in his face, gets it where it needs to be. He was open, but still getting that ball there with a defensive lineman hand in his face is special.
And he got pummeled at the goal line.
He did get pummeled at the goal line, but not before he got in there for 6. It is a 21-7 ball game here with 7:30 to go in the 3rd quarter.
And one thing the Bulldogs need to do is they need to keep both quarterbacks in the game. Even though they did just take Giancarlo out mid-drive, they need to keep his morale up, as you never know what will happen later in the game. So the Bulldogs need to stay together. They need to keep playing as a family and just keep encouraging each other as they go on.
You got to think they will, with how tight this team has been through the first 2 weeks, for the first week and 2.5 quarters here. But you never know. High schoolers, they can get in their own heads sometimes, and you don't want that for Garcia. Do I think that'll happen? No. I think he's mentally mature enough to keep himself composed, even if he's not out there. Same with Braden Novak, and I think they've shown that and proven that. I think the coaching staff trusts them so much. That's why we saw, Novak wasn't even out there for the start of that drive. Garcia had a couple of incompletions, a ball short behind the line of scrimmage. So the coaching staff made the change, and it ended up paying off for the Bulldogs.
And one thing this defense is going to need to do this possession, they have to keep their composure.
Yes.
We cannot have any stupid penalties over just high tension right now. It's going to be a tight game no matter what, but the Bulldogs just need to stay calm, need to keep their composure, and need to keep playing Bulldog football.
Absolutely. Well, you think during the week, when they're watching film and they're practicing, you hear the name echo in their heads, Dante Jett. They want to shut this guy down, and they've done so far, so I'm sure they are amped about that, but they have to make sure it stays the same way. They don't find him open on one play, because all it takes in football, and any sport really, is one play to flip the switch and get momentum hitting the other way. A deep kick there from Bilo-Broddick will go out of the end zone, hit the field goal post, and the Hornets will take over.
And John Evans Jr. has absolutely shut down Dante Jett.
Yes.
That's what you love to see out of a senior cornerback, and he is just not allowed him a single look tonight. They haven't even looked his direction.
I was just about to say, it feels like Jackson Schuyler hasn't even looked left much tonight. I mean, like we said, granted, he hasn't thrown the ball a whole lot. It seems as if the game plan tonight for the Hornets was run, 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 and it's worked to a point, I think. Obviously, they're down 2 scores. It's a 21-7 ball game. At this point, I mean, it's the third quarter, 7:31 to play. You got to get something going through the air because they do have weapons outside of Jet as well.
Absolutely.
We'll see what they go with here on a fresh set of downs. New drive here for the Hornets. Can they do something? We'll see. Schuyler alongside Burton in the backfield. It's a jet sweep here to Brady Miller. He'll bust it outside, and he'll have a big gain stopped. Very important tackle there. So
That's
see who that
Mason.
is. That's Warren Mason, not letting anything get by him.
He's all over the place tonight. He's making big hits. He's making just important tackles. And that's the importance of Warren Mason. That's why he is one of the captains and leaders of this team. He is just so important for this Bulldogs defense because he is just all over the place, hustling his butt off.
And I don't know if the broadcast caught it at the beginning, very beginning of this third quarter, but he was very clearly either upset or hyped up. Either way, he was very loud and aggravated on the Bulldogs sideline, looking to make sure everybody is still in the right mindset. So that's the kind of leader you look for on the defensive side of the ball. And the Bulldogs' defensive line is all over that one. We're not getting the run game going on that second down. It'll be third down now for the Hornets.
Absolutely. And Warren Mason and Pierce Morgan getting a little shoving match.
Absolutely, excuse me. 2nd and 11. I apologize. Keep going.
But at about midfield, they're pushing each other back and forth. You just cannot let that tension ride.
Absolutely. I don't know about you, but I've said the name about 8 times this time. Or, excuse me, this half. Dante Jett, I'm looking at him and John Evans right now. I know Schuyler's looking that way too. The thumbs up is given. He's going to roll. And he's going to fire for Miller. He's got his man. And nothing but green grass ahead of him. He is going to be able to outrun the guy, but not before he's brought down by Mason. A big gain. Is Miller hurt after the tackle from Mason? It appears as if he is. But a big gain for the Hornets. Moves it inside the red zone.
A nice hustle by Tim Giacomelli there to catch him.
Got to hope Brady Miller is okay, as Miller is still down. We don't know exactly what happened there. Mason with a pretty aggressive tackle there. He didn't want him to get in for 6. So obviously a very impactful play for the Hornets. That's really their first big play of the night, especially through the air. But got to hope Miller is okay either way. The Hornets are in pretty prime position right now to score this drive and keep this a one-possession ball game, get this back to a one-possession ball game.
And although Dante Jett has been quiet tonight, he has brought so much attention that has allowed these other Hornets receivers and running backs to break free and make these big plays.
He has. It's almost as if it's like 2 guys are, I mean, obviously we've seen Evans float over him, but I feel like the safeties might have their eyes more towards 14 than anybody else out there in the receiving core for that Hornets roster. So maybe that's the reason why 22 broke free there, or it was just a good route by number 22, Brady Miller, as he's still down, hoping he's okay. Bulldogs will take the break to recoup inside their huddle and try to get a stop here, hopefully, and keep the Hornets out of the end zone. This is the second Hornets player we've seen tonight need extra attention. We saw number 6 for Hinsdale. That's Alamir Almani, the linebacker. He had to get carried off the field in the first half. And now Miller. So that's a big loss, assuming Miller is out for the time being in the foreseeable future for both offense and defense for this Hinsdale South roster tonight.
And we have not seen Alamir since.
No.
So big loss for the Hornets.
So we remain in break. Miller still being attended to, getting stretched out right now. As we see our friendly foe, Harley, on the screen, the new dog, the real RB mascot, the living, breathing RB mascot. Everybody loves Harley. How can you not? Just a beautiful, beautiful pup there.
Sweetest dog ever.
You got a chance to pet him in the hallway yet,
I
Colin?
unfortunately have
No?
not.
Well,
have you?
I did, and let me just say it was the greatest 8 seconds of that day. I'm a big dog guy, if you can't tell. Got 2 at home. Gotta love them. Shout out Tucker and Chloe. 21-7 Bulldogs, 6:07 to play. As Miller is still being attended to.
Got some crutches on the field. Not a good look for the Hornets.
Well, after that big play there, you have to think that the Bulldogs in this huddle right now, as we see on screen, Styler and company, they're talking about, hey, we just let up our first big play of the night. Let's shut them down now. Let's respond in a big way. Maybe that means ball hawking. One of their safeties, Warren Mason, Oscar Aguirre. Aguirre almost had that interception in the first half. In the first half, we almost saw Aguirre have that interception as the cart comes out for Miller. As Colin will step aside for one moment here, so you're left with me for a few moments. But as we've been talking about, it's so interesting, the dynamic of both Braden Novak and Giancarlo Garcia, number 9 and number 1. And we talked with Coach Sam Styler on the playbook, as it's such an interesting dynamic, like I said, but both guys are so capable of doing what they're good at. Getting things going through the air if you're Novak, and getting things going through the air if you're Novak, like I said, and Garcia getting things going on the ground. We saw 2 rushing touchdowns from Garcia last week, a big part of the reason why they were able to pull away and win that one. It's just a special combination to have. I think Styler recognizes that. Obviously, we saw something that not a lot of high school coaches at all are willing to do, and that's make an in-drive switch at quarterback, as Colin rejoins us here from the booth. I think he got that quarter switched. It's that second on the broadcast. It is, in fact, the third quarter. I think we've been reminding you that enough, but we had to make that switch there. But I've been talking about the quarterback room. Such an interesting dynamic. And both of the guys, neither of them are seniors, so they'll be back next year. What do you think about that?
I think it's an interesting dynamic, as they're both going to be fighting for this spot. And Sam Styler has not confirmed if he's going to pick one yet. He said he might just ride this out for the rest of high school. So
it'll be interesting. Like we said, we talked about it on this week's episode of The Playbook. If you haven't gotten a chance to watch that yet, RBTV's YouTube is waiting for you. We talked in depth about the quarterback, quote-unquote, battle. Styler doesn't want to call it that because he utilizes both the quarterbacks to the maximum ability. As we hope Brady Miller is okay. He had to get carted off the field, as we just see, exited the field, number 22. That was a big play for the Hornets. And unfortunately, on that same play, their weapon has to be carted off the field.
And you don't see carts often in high school, so you got to pray that he's okay.
And I wasn't giving it too much attention. Obviously, I was a little bit, but I couldn't see what he was pointing to. I don't know if it was the leg, but you'd have to think if it was an upper body, maybe a shoulder injury, he would have been able to walk it off. Just got to hope he's okay.
6:07 left in the game, in the quarter. Sorry.
Skylar rolls left. He's maybe got his man. No, he's going to have to buy some extra time. Rolls back. That's a lot of yardage lost. If he gets sacked, he's got time looking right. He's got all day and then some. Skylar rolls. My goodness, this is comical. He throws, and it's caught. That's Piers Morgan, touchdown Hornets, number 11. And that was probably a 15 to 20-second play for the Hornets. You can't have that if you're the Bulldogs, and it gets it back within one score, barring the extra point.
If you got him rolling out that far, you got to make a play. You cannot let him escape that many times, and that was not good.
Wasn't good. That's plain and simple there, but it becomes tough when the quarterback is able to buy that much time, is able to roll out for such an extended period of time. The defensive linemen are sort of just like, do I drop back in coverage? Do I bull rush the quarterback? Do I try to put a stop to that? As nearly a block there again. Man, Mason comes flying off that edge every time, but it is a 14 to 21 ball game. Bulldogs still up by one score. Going to have to respond and get back that momentum here, though.
And some frustration from the defense, as in Andrew Olivares. He came off that field, and he looked very frustrated, as the defensive coordinator is also just super frustrated.
And rightfully so. Letting up a score is never the ideal outcome. It happens, obviously. But in a situation like this, if you're the Bulldogs, they were up 2 scores. You want to keep that momentum in this third quarter, as we're about halfway through at this point, 5:45 to go. It'll be interesting to see who they send out here first. It's a guessing game every time they bring their offense out there. Who's going to start at quarterback? Does he finish the drive? Is there a certain play package? Does G come in for a run design? And as a defense, as Hinsdale South, as any team, as any opponent that will have to prepare for RB this season on their schedule, it'll be so hard to prep for that because you just don't know who will be out there every drive. And you have to be able to know, G's going to come out and run. This is a run design, or will he throw it? Because as much as he does like to tuck it and run, he does have the arm power. So it's such an interesting dilemma, and it's got to be borderline impossible for these opposing teams to study up during the week.
They're just such a dynamic duo. I mean, you can't stop talking about them as you watch this game.
As here we have the kickoff. Hornets awaiting, sending out their men as here they come. I don't know how Skylar isn't exhausted. He's played every part of this game, quarterback, defense, and special teams, as he's ready to kick it away as he tees things off here. 21-14 Bulldogs, 5:45 to go here in the third quarter.
And I'm sure the Hornets are going to have to start utilizing some timeouts to get Skylar some rest.
Skylar will boot it. A bit of a farther kick this time, as the Bulldogs might have a crease there. He'll run back in on the block. Karras will get wrapped up around the 43-yard line, so not too shabby in terms of starting position for this Bulldogs offense. Got to hope they can do something with it here.
Absolutely, and we're looking to see which quarterback is going to head out there for this possession.
It's tough. You got to play I Spy with the huddle. Do I spy number 9 or number 1?
And I spot number 1 on the sideline, so we're going to see Braden Novak yet again, as he has just been lighting it up tonight. He has looked fantastic.
Through the air, you have to appreciate what he's doing. He's finding the opening. They're scheming the open receivers for him, and he's hitting them time after time again. Got to hope that continues here for the Bulldogs. Novak trots out for the 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
We're going to see Karras on an island off to the right.
Takes the snap. That's Renneria on the handoff. Damian Renneria, the senior, gets a gain of about a couple there. It'll be 2nd and long for the Bulldogs. That's Renneria's, I believe, first carry of the night. He is a running back. Played a pretty crucial part on defense last week as a linebacker. He did have a tackle, so he made his presence felt there as well.
Absolutely. And he is such a tough runner. Having that running back, it's a trio at this point.
It is.
Nico Caputo, Jacob Ratana, and Damian Renteria. I mean, they are just so powerful.
They are, excuse me. Here's Novak, number 9. Ready to go. He'll throw this time as he'll go deep. Does he have Morozic this time? He does. Way to respond. He's got it. That's 6 for number 6. Bulldogs score. Make it a 2-possession game once more.
And they say, throwing it on that dime, number 9, Braden Novak, looking like prime Trace McSorley out there.
There we go, baby. It's like those Penn State days. Gotta love it. Braden Novak on the money all night. And if you're this Bulldogs sideline, if you're this fan base in the student section, how can you not love the play from number 9 and company tonight on this offense?
I mean, you gotta love it. 2nd varsity game. He has 3 touchdowns.
Through the air.
It's just unbelievable. He's averaging 3 touchdowns a game right now. I mean, coming in off of your sophomore year on JV, as they have a sophomore quarterback starting on varsity, you're obviously going to be working hard. And you can see the work Bubba Novak's been putting in as he has his 3rd touchdown of the game.
As Bilo Brodek will put it through. No good. Off the upright. As the Doink will make it 27-14. But man, Braden Novak, can't talk about him enough. As we'll get a replay here shortly of the touchdown. Novak putting it exactly where it needed to be. And Colin, we talked about it during the break. With the passes to Morozic in the first half, we saw it over his head, right? He had to reach for it and kind of make a tough adjustment. That's why we believe he wasn't able to come down with it. This time, right on the money in front of him. Didn't have to make any weird position for the ball. On the money, look what happens. 6 for 6.
I mean, those are the guys you got to get the ball to.
Absolutely.
You got to get to Jaden Karras. You got to get it to Xavier Morozic. You got to get it to John Bilo-Bradick. And they have all made plays tonight. And even looking at it, Nico Caputo, they could get it back into this game, getting him involved, the little speed demon.
Absolutely. I'm still incredibly impressed with how quick his feet looked in the first half when they got him involved. A lot of options for this Bulldogs offense. Thankfully, it's real fun to watch as they are ready to kick it off. What a way to respond. We talked about it after the Hornets touchdown. The lengthy play that was not great. We have to admit it for the Hornets on that touchdown drive. What a way to respond. It was quick. Braden Novak went out there, got the job done. And for, guys who just come off their sophomore year, the lights are too bright for them. And once they get acclimated to this varsity atmosphere, it takes a while, like a couple of weeks or maybe even a full season to adjust. But for Braden Novak, it's been in no time. Did he touch that ball? He did. That will not go out of bounds. They'll have to play it, and he'll spin out. That is terrible field position for the Hinsdale South Hornets. as this Bulldog sideline is hyped up. That's number 2, Anthony Sansoni on the return. It almost bounced out of bounds. He picked it up. Was not a great decision.
And another beautiful kick by John Beal-Bradick after missing the extra point. He makes up for it with an absolute beautiful kickoff. And we did see him have a penalty earlier, but he has totally made up for it since then.
I'd agree. That was the luck of the Bulldog bounce there, keeping that ball inside of the sticks. He did pick it up, and now they're at inside their own 10. So not great. They have a lot of room to make up for the Hinsdale Hornets offense. We'll see what Jackson Schuyler can do here on this drive. Have to imagine a run is coming here to try and regain some of those yards that they lost on the kickoff return.
From their own 4-yard line.
So we're waiting the snap. 1st and 10. Tough positioning here. They'll go with the end around. No, it's a quarterback keep. And Schuyler will make up some of those yards. Get them out of their own end zone. Helmet comes off. Schuyler's hair is flying out.
6-yard gain on the play.
Gonna have to put that one back on, Jackson. It'll be 2nd and short for the Hornets. Again, I'd imagine we'd see number 5, Isaiah Burton, heavily involved on this drive as Schuyler is going to the sideline, maybe to get his helmet replaced. Be interesting to see what goes on here. Obviously, that's the most important player here.
The rule is if your helmet comes off, you do have to take a play off the field.
There you go. Look at Colin Semino coming in here for us, folks. Clearing things up. Got to appreciate my partner. What a man he is. So here we go. Coming in.
That's going to be Benjamin Miller, the backup quarterback, the junior.
Presumably here for the Hornets, at least one play. No, Schuyler's going to come back out. So whatever just happened, they got it cleared up. He's back in the huddle for this play. I do believe I've heard of that rule before, Colin, so I would have agreed with you there, but something, maybe it was just a quick fix for the helmet there that they just had to make within the time frame that they could have. Schuyler will be back out here for this 2nd and short. As the Bulldogs student section is alive here for the 2nd down, and Schuyler zips it, but the ball is dropped late by Lamarius Moore. Had the touchdown earlier, couldn't hold on to that one for a 1st down.
And we talked about it. Luke Ferguson ready to make an impact, breaking that ball up right there, making sure this Hinsdale South offense is going to be stuck.
Make sure they're going to be minimized there. Lamarius Moore with the drop. Maybe he wouldn't have dropped that if Ferguson did get a hand in there late, as here we go. Swag surfing, baby. 3rd and 4. The Bulldogs' 3rd down theme song. Gotta love it. Can they get the stop here? Would help them with field position. If the Hornets were forced to punt, they'd likely get it on the Hornets' side of the 50 and have maybe a cleaner, more opportunistic drive.
And I
Quicker one, too.
I think something that's going to play into this game is going to be Jackson Schuyler's fatigue, as he is on the field at all times.
100%. As they'll break the huddle here, 3rd and 4. What will they do? Will they hand it off to the man of the night, Burton, or will he look to pass? Maybe get Dante Jett involved, a man we haven't seen with the ball in his hands yet so far. Lamarius Moore in motion, end around, not there. Schuyler's going to have to tuck it and run, and he'll get the 1st down. As he's still going, will eventually be brought down past the 20-yard line. One thing that stood out to me with Schuyler's play so far tonight is his ability to tuck it and run. These high school quarterbacks, they're really becoming dual threats. I feel like that's sort of the common theme with these guys out there now in the 2020s.
Absolutely. And the thing is, RB has 2 of them.
Exactly.
So
2 beats 1. So Jackson Schuyler, you're good and all, but we got G and we got Braden. So anyways, sorry for the subtle jab. Just felt it was necessary. Schuyler maybe look to throw here or get Burton involved, like we said, on a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Absolutely. And you see Schuyler's agility during that last touchdown pass. I mean,
he can get moving. As it will be a handoff to Burton. We'll try to cut back inside, but not before 4 Bulldogs pounce on him to make sure he goes no further.
And you see Warren Mason getting in there again, just getting these assists, getting these solo tackles. I mean, he is just all over the place. You got to love it.
Absolutely. As 23, Jaden Barrett, the senior, will come out onto the field as presumably, a linebacker, and Lagaikis will come out there as well for Miguel Ortega. Some changes on the defensive line for the 2nd and medium, 2nd and 5 for the Hornets. We'll see what that will do, mix things up. I will say, Colin, we haven't seen a whole lot of pressure. We saw a sack towards the end of the 1st half, I believe, but nothing straight off the edge. Obviously, given the fact that we haven't seen Schuyler sort of drop back and pass at all, but we're looking to see some more bull rushes from maybe Ben Biskupic here in the 2nd half. Get to the quarterback, that would be awesome. As the design run for Schuyler, and he'll get blasted in the chest, but not before. He'll pick up about 6 or 7 yards there on second down. Will that be enough for the first? I guess so.
9-yard gain.
It's a 9-yard gain for the Hornets. Skyler will walk back towards the sideline. Look for the play, walk back to the huddle. As they're chewing some clock here, we are just over a minute left in this third quarter.
As Viskupic's going to head to the trainer's table, not a good sign for the Bulldogs offense, getting some tape.
Interesting. Appears to be looking at the hand area. Might be a cut. It appears to be maybe bloody from here. I can't tell, but we hope he's okay. Obviously an impactful player. Week 1 will be an impactful player as a defensive captain for this Bulldogs team. A screen pass to number 31. And not much going for him there. That is Nathan Navarro. He is a sophomore, 5'9", 161. There on the screenplay, like the design, but didn't have much going there for them in terms of the Hornets on offense there on that play.
No, and we saw Matt Legigas just diving in there, coming in like an absolute rocket, trying to drag him down. As we're going to see 2nd and 5 on the 40-yard line.
And 6 for the Hornets from their own 40-yard line.
All right. The crowd stomping. We can feel it up here in the booth. Trying to get involved, trying to make sure the Hornets mess things up here. We'll see. Will Skyler pass it here? I'd imagine he has less than 10 passing attempts tonight for sure.
I'd say maybe 5 or 6.
He'll roll to his left. There was a blitz coming, and the pass will be complete. Missed tackle there. He'll bounce outside, get out of bounds. That's number 31, Nathan Navarro again, back-to-back plays where he's had the ball in his hands. Maybe they're trying to scheme him open in the second half.
And that is going to end the third quarter. We're going to head into the fourth with the Bulldogs up 27-14.
Not as efficient, not as clean as the first half was, first and second quarter, but nonetheless, Braden Novak been the story of the night with his arm. Got another touchdown in there, rifled one in there to Xavier Morozic, the Jesus, the all-conference receiver. How do we feel, Colin?
I mean, how can I complain? He's played an absolute beauty of a game so far. And something I'd like to see is if they start to hone in on Bubba Novak's arm, maybe get G back in there, maybe get a couple design runs in there for him. I think it's good the way they have been utilizing the receivers. And we haven't seen a lot of tight ends tonight. It's something I'm going to say is our receivers have just been absolutely great.
They've been the star of the show. I believe we had one reception from Nick Baca, number 12, towards the end of the first half on a little short route for about 10 or 15 yards. But other than that, it's been all receivers so far. But you can't complain with the likes of Nico Caputo, Jaden Karras, and Xavier Morozic, as well as John Bilo-Bradick on that big touchdown that he had.
Absolutely.
So here we go, the fourth and final quarter. Bulldogs looking to close it out and be 2-0 these first 2 weeks of the season. Can they do it? We're about to find out here in these final 12 minutes.
And a stop here would be massive.
Absolutely.
First and 10 for the Hornets from the Bulldogs.
Skyler with Burton in the backfield shared with him. He's going to roll to his right. Look to throw. He'll have to, and overthrown over the head of Lamarius Moore. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And Jaden Barrett flying in there, ready to make that hit. Put a lot of pressure on Jackson Skyler there and caused him to overthrow his receiver.
Gotta love that. Even though it's not a sack, it forces Skyler to either make A, a bad decision, or B, just throw it away. Either way, benefits the Bulldogs and makes it a 2nd and 10 now for the Hornets.
Ball on the Bulldogs' 49-yard line. We're going to see 2nd and 10 with 11:56 left in the fourth quarter.
It'll be interesting to see as we saw Piers Morgan get a touchdown earlier on that broken play that somehow managed to stay alive for as long as it did. We'll see if they stay and keep him involved as we have another quarterback run, a fake sweep, and Skyler will get decked, but not before he gets around a gain of 9.
And it's Warren Mason again making a big hit.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what you like to see from a senior leader. He's out there being an absolutely impactful player.
Feels like every play where that ball is moving forward, Warren Mason is there to stop it and hopefully shut it down. As it is a 3rd down for the Hornets.
And about 3 yards to go.
As they come out of the huddle here, Skyler going to have to make something happen. What will he do here? It is a first down. Scoreboard messed it up. 3rd and 3, excuse me, my goodness. Skyler, there's pressure. He'll step up, he'll tuck it and run. And he keeps taking these hard hits, but he's getting the first down that this Hornets offense needs.
And yet again, I mean, I can't get his name out of my mouth. Warren Mason with another big hit. He is actually just everywhere he needs to be to stop these huge plays from becoming even bigger. I mean,
sure it's a first down for the Hornets, but it could have been something more than that. And with the quarterback tucking and running, there's always risk of injury. Warren Mason is not shying away from laying the boom on whoever has the ball on the offensive side for the Hornets. Coming out of the huddle here at the 35-yard line, Hornets are marching.
And one of the great things I'm seeing is the whole student section is still here supporting the Bulldogs.
Yeah. Man, I mean, I've been here. This is my 4th year now as a senior. I don't think I've ever seen it last this long to this capacity. As a run inside for Isaiah Burton. Ball comes out late. Flags fly.
Flag on the play.
We'll see what the call is.
Number 65, Joey Campagna, all over that. He met the run right up the middle.
First time we've called his name out there tonight, the senior.
Personal foul on the defense.
And that is a foul on the defense. Not what you're looking for. You want cleaner football, obviously. None of these, stupid penalties that'll push you back and help the Hornets offense. So this isn't ideal. As you see the Bulldogs marching back the other way, inching closer to giving the Hornets a touchdown.
Personal foul on the defense. Gonna be a first down.
It'll be an automatic first for Hinsdale South. Just inside the red zone at around the 18-yard line. Will Skyler make a play through the air or keep tucking it and running by himself and with Burton? We'll see here inside the red zone. 1st and 10 for Hinsdale South. What will he do? He'll look to drop back and pass. He'll float deep, and it is caught. Touchdown. That's Lamarius Moore for his 2nd time tonight.
2 diving catches.
Diving catches.
That is quite the game from the kid. But this is going to make the Bulldogs offense step up and have to make a couple huge plays here, drain some clock, score the ball again.
Absolutely. Well, we saw Bilo Braddock unfortunately missed that extra point. So now if the Hornets knock this one through, it's a 6-point ball game. So now there is a lot more pressure on the Bulldogs offense to go down there and march down for a score, whether it's 3 points or 7. We'll see. Here is the extra point pending from guess who is kicking it. None other than Skyler. He's been all over the field tonight.
Maybe Mason could get in on this one.
And he
It's blocked.
did. How about it? Right on cue from Mr. Semino. Might have hit him in the chest. Got the wind knocked out of him maybe, but balanced out on missed extra points there. Bilo Braddock missed his last one. Skyler misses this one. 27-20 Bulldogs, 9:45 to go. Offense is going to have to come out firing here for Riverside Brookfield.
And Mason is down on the sideline, not what you want to see, as he has made major impacts tonight. Blocked, kicked, so many tackles, so many pass breakups. I mean, he is just like doing everything that the Bulldogs need right now, and that is not what you want to see is him down right now.
Well, you got to hope that it's nothing more than just tightness. Obviously in football, coaching staffs, they preach drinking water pregame, making sure that everything's flowing. So I believe it's nothing more than Mason getting loose, but obviously we'll keep an eye on that. One of their key players on the defensive side of the ball, senior captain Warren Mason, been one heck of a playmaker tonight for the Bulldogs. They're getting a lot of plays on the defensive side of the ball. The usual suspects, Morozic DeJesus and Jaden Karras back to return. We'll see where this kickoff goes. I can already tell from up here that Skyler looks gassed so far tonight. I mean, he's been through 3 quarters of play, and he's played so much, such a high volume of football that he's got to be running out of breath at this point, you think, right, Colin?
I mean, absolutely. If you're out there every single play of the game, looking like Travis Hunter out there, I mean,
seriously,
he has not gotten a break tonight.
Going to have to be tired at some point as he is giving the thumbs up to kick away. The Bulldogs will regain possession.
It's the Karras.
And Karras will take it out. Look for the hole. He's got it down the sideline. There he goes. Can he stay in bounds? Yes, he will. Past midfield. And they will whistle it down early, past midfield. Got to love that on special teams from the speedster, number 22, Jaden Karras.
Absolutely. Making plays all around tonight. I mean, special teams, offense, he is just all over the place.
You have so many of those players, right? We talked about it a little bit earlier tonight. You have players, obviously in high school football, a lot of guys are going to play on both sides of the ball, right? Offense, defense, you see wide receivers, DBs all the time. But Karras, on offense and special teams, he always seems to make his presence felt with the ball in his hands. So exciting to watch as Novak will come marching out here for another drive. The Bulldogs will look to score here, hopefully, to extend their lead in the fourth quarter.
And as we do describe Karras as a speed demon, he does run like a 4.5 40. So he
does, as we see the replay here. Running down the sideline. They blew that whistle a little early. But here the drive starts for the Bulldogs. Going to hand it off to Ratana. Haven't seen him get a carry in a minute. But he will get a good game. Look at him fight towards midfield. Gotta love it, man. I just love, there's something about feisty running backs always fighting for extra yardage that you just love to watch.
Absolutely.
And Ratana's one of those guys.
Yeah, and you could compare him to an NFL running back, the way his legs keep churning.
Absolutely.
Right there, he did get wrapped up, but his legs just kept pumping, and that got him the few extra yards to make it 2nd and 2.
If you watch Bears football and you're tuned in enough, Kyle Monungai, guy out of Rutgers, they describe him as a bowling ball. Number 0, I'd say on RB, is the same way. He just keeps pounding and moving the ball forward as we see a direct snap to, my goodness, Novak as he will get, whoa, late hit there. Yeah, that's a flag. Novak will pop up. We're not taking that. Give me some extra yardage there. Why not? Stupid play from the Hornets. And if I'm their coaching staff, I'm furious because that is such an unnecessary late hit. You know, whistle blew about 5 seconds before they tossed him there.
Absolutely.
So unnecessary.
And that's going to be on Maxim Vitruk, who is the 2nd time we've seen him get a penalty like this. Obvious frustration coming from him. And the Bulldogs took advantage of that, and that is going to be
midfield.
A 1st and 10.
8:50 to go, 27-20 Bulldogs. Such an important aspect of football. Maybe not the play, but the discipline. You got to keep your guys in focus. Can't make stupid errors like that, whether it's with the ball in their hands or just small little mental errors that, you know, have no positive impact on their team's play. You can't have stuff like that.
Absolutely. And Sam Styler talked about this on our podcast. He said he wants his team to be disciplined. He wants them to stick together. And so far, we have not seen any penalties out of frustration from the Bulldogs
Novak
yet.
to snap. Will hand it off to Ratana. Nice spin move. And even though it was a gain of around 2 there, he was still looking to fight. Jacob Ratana, the bowling ball. Novak listens for the play call. And the Bulldogs will have to find something to work with as we see Garcia come in here. Switch of quarterbacks again mid-drive. What will they scheme up, draw up for Garcia here? What do we think, Colin?
I'm thinking a quarterback design run of some sort, as they're going to get Braden Novak a ball on the sideline, just get his arm ready in case we get into a 3rd and long situation. I think they will sub him back in.
As we see quarterback on the sideline talking to the coach, Garcia. Exactly that. We'll tuck it and run and get a pretty good amount of yards there. It was a 2nd and 11 coming off that play, so should be around 3rd and medium, 3rd and short for the Bulldogs. We'll see what they do. If they keep G out there for the play or bring Braden back in. It appears as if G will stay out on the field on 3rd down here.
It's going to be 3rd and 8. Probably going to have to pass here. Design run. They're expecting it. If you watch film, you see Garcia will tuck it a lot.
So we'll see what they'll do here. Garcia still finding a hole, and he'll break free. Man, the feet of Giancarlo Garcia keeps the Bulldog magic alive tonight and puts him in the driver's seat to score yet another touchdown here on this drive, moving inside the red zone.
And something you're going to talk about, we've talked about it all night.
Yep.
Is just the dynamic of these two quarterbacks. I mean, when Braden is having a rough drive, we could throw G right back out there and he could pick it right back up. Just the leadership of these two young men is just amazing to see.
Such an important and overlooked quality from a quarterback, especially at the high school level. You hear when a rookie quarterback comes into the NFL, they'll talk about, can this guy be a leader? As we see a one-on-one matchup on the outside of a sweep. That's Caputo, got the ball back in his hands. He's shifty, makes a nice move. And a nice gain inside the 10-yard line. The Bulldogs are moving, Colin.
And we said it during halftime. We said they need to keep Caputo involved. And right there, give him the ball, let him get a couple extra yards, make a nice move, cut back inside. I mean, that's what you love to see out of your junior wide receiver / running back.
Exactly. You have so many players who can come off of those jet sweep type play designs. Jaden Karras, Xavier Morozic, and, of course, Nico Caputo, who we just saw on that play, made a nice nifty move to cut inside for an extra couple of yards there. So many players, and having those, quick, nifty guys like that is such a gift for your offense.
No, absolutely. And having those blocking tight ends like Nick Baca and Jake Dudzik, watching Nick Baca out there block helps so much for Nico Caputo.
Got to give
on that play.
credit. as much credit as you can give to the offensive line, who's done a pretty good job tonight, all things considered. You got to have the tight ends in that conversation as well, as Ratana will tuck it and run. There he goes, moving towards the end zone, breaks free. Touchdown, pause up, y'all. The Bulldogs extend the lead. Over 30 points here tonight for this offense.
I mean, chugga, he just blew through that line. I mean, you cannot bring that kid down.
The bowling ball, Jacob Ratana, in for a second score of the night. We made it such a point of emphasis when we were talking our keys to the game on the playbook. Get Jacob Ratana involved, not just with the carries, but get him those holes, those creases that he can hit for big gains. He's done that, and it's resulted in 2 touchdowns tonight for him.
I mean, I had a big circle around number 0 coming into this game. So great to see him getting these rushing touchdowns.
Got to feel good for the kid. And Bilo Braddock will put this one through. Good to see. 4 for 5 on the night for extra points. Gets that one back. And the Bulldogs are up 2 touchdowns. 5:33 to go here as we inch closer to the end of this game, as we'll show the replay here of the touchdown as Ratana swiftly moves through these broken tackles. Just couldn't bring him down. You saw Jackson Schuyler, the quarterback, down on the field at the end there. Bulldog helps him up, but results in a Ratana score.
And Nick Cisternanos pushing him into the end zone there.
How about it, baby? RBTV legend.
Love to see it.
As you see the sideline, looks to be gassed, but has to be satisfied. They put up over 30 points, Colin. They had 35 last week. They're at 30. They're sitting at 34 with 5:33 to play. This offense is a high-power offense.
Absolutely. And the only question we have is, what can Jackson Schuyler do this drive? Huge drive, not a lot of time left. They call it the 2-minute warning, but he is a 5-minute warning due to the fact that he has to get 2 scores.
Yes, it's a good point. You know, when we've seen him throw the ball, they design bootleg plays or where they'll have him roll out, design rollouts to the left or to the right. They haven't been really working all that well for Hinsdale South's offense. It'll be interesting to see if they have him maybe stand tall in the pocket on some of these plays this upcoming drive, or however many drives they have left tonight. Bilo Braddock will kick it off. Again, towards the sideline. Will they let it bounce? It'll stay in, and Navarro will take it to return. Not before he is met. That's number 24. Guess who? Luke Ferguson, the man who will lay the wood.
I mean, we've talked about it before. I mean, he is just an impactful player that people do not talk about enough.
No. Starting linebacker for this Bulldog squad. And even though he might not always pop up on the stat sheet, I think opposing offenses feel his presence and shy away from him with the football in their hands.
Absolutely. And there's one other guy that we have not mentioned tonight, Bennett Cannon.
Yeah,
I mean,
you go.
You see him on special teams. You see him out there.
Number 11, baby.
Heat-seeking missile.
I love it.
Looking to just hit people.
Got to have a couple of those guys on your football team, right, that want to do nothing else but just get to the guy and hit him.
Absolutely. And
that's Schuyler on the 1st and 10. Another design rollout here. A bit of a broken play, and Biskupik will try to get him, not before it's thrown out of play along the sidelines. Broken play, 2nd and 10 for Hinsdale South.
And keep in mind, this is Ben Biskupik's first year of high school football.
Yeah.
Senior, starting on the line. I mean, you got to give credit to the kid as he makes a huge hustle play right there, forces Jackson Schuyler to throw it straight out of bounds.
As you see the guys on the sideline. Yeah, Biskupik isn't really a storyline that we've talked about enough tonight, I feel like, Colin. He is a first-year guy, and when you see him out on the field with how well-built he is and how, he can maintain his stamina and just keep up with all these guys, you'd think he'd been playing all 4 years. It's pretty special to watch. As we see a 2nd and 10 here for the Hornets, what will they do?
Absolutely, and with playing basketball with him, he is a physical guy.
Yes, absolutely. He will talk a lot of smack, too, as Schuyler will go deep, and that was not a great throw. Jet will come down late. A couple guys trip, but that ball went absolutely nowhere. Thankfully, it was the first deep shot we've really seen them taking tonight. As here we hear it again, maybe for the final time tonight. Swag surfing, got to enjoy every minute, every second we have of this. 3rd down.
Absolutely, and we're going to see Dante Jett come off the field on a 3rd and long.
Oh, he hasn't been as big of a factor. I mean, we penciled him in so many times, right? Looking forward to this Friday, this matchup, but he doesn't have one reception here tonight as we see Daniel Amperin talking to the coach along the sidelines. Young guys getting coached up, but it's surprising. I think that's the one word you have to use when not seeing the usage of Dante Jett, but we talked about it. Minimize Dante Jett's production. They've done just that, and you have to give him credit for it. Here's Schuyler on 3rd and 10. And pressure comes. He'll roll out. Does he have the first? He'll use his legs. Loses the football. Who's on it? Do the Bulldogs have it? Bulldogs are pointing. They do. The ref says yes. Bulldogs football, possibly the biggest play of the game, changes the tides. And the Bulldogs maintain momentum in a big way. First turnover of the night for this Bulldogs defense.
And you love to see it. The biggest play of the game at the very end of the game to shut the game down.
Absolutely, as we see the replay here.
And that's
Nobody even hit him. Skyler just lost the football, got too ahead of himself there. That's what happens when you tuck it and run it late.
And you're going to see Luke Ferguson, number 24, getting all over that ball. I mean,
we made a good job making it a point of emphasis, keeping our eyes on 2-4, and he made a huge play, possibly to seal the deal here tonight.
Absolutely, and we're going to see Garcia lead the team back out onto the field after that last beautiful touchdown drive.
You also can't ignore the great field position. The Bulldogs have it at the 36-yard line in prime position again to score and really blow the door open here and walk away with a win to make it 2-0 on the season. High snap. Thankfully, that play is shut down. Botched play. We'll see what it is. It's a false start on the offense. Colin, we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves here if we're the offensive line, right? We want to slow things down, stay composed. We've talked about it a lot as we see the coach hyping the guys up, the defensive backfield on the sideline. Want to make sure, while we're still hyped up, that we're up 2 scores and there's still 5 minutes of play. You want to be in it still. You don't get too ahead of yourselves and make these little mistakes, right?
Absolutely. And I think you go to the run game here. I think we've had very little mistakes these last couple years with our run game, hardly any fumbles. I think you just take care of the ball here and knock on wood.
As they give it to Ratana. Colin, you've been on one tonight. There goes Ratana. Make it a hat trick, kid. Can't get him. Touchdown, Bulldogs. And this game might be all but over. As Ratana throws up the celly. The hat trick for the kid.
I mean, they call him the human bowling ball for a reason. He just blows through that offensive line and defensive line. He's just unstoppable. And they talk about it. He is one of the hardest workers on this team. They call him a gym rat. He's in there all the time just working.
What did you say? He benched 400, 500, 600?
That's that.
He's going up. I mean, it's ridiculous. And you can see it. He is built like a running back. He runs like a running back. What a player. What a senior to have lead your offense.
Absolutely. And it's great to see the production out of him.
As they knock the extra point through. And just like that, folks, in the snap of a finger, the Bulldogs are up 3 touchdowns with 5 minutes to go. What a job by not just this offense, not just this defense, but the entire team. Everybody deserves credit tonight for blowing this one open to such a degree.
I mean, it's just been an all-around performance yet again.
Yes.
Coming into this game, we expected a close one. We expected a shootout. And these Bulldogs have just pulled ahead, up by 21 now, with 5 minutes remaining in the fourth.
Man, I can't get over it. I know I'm going to talk to John Evans after the game, after he gets his pads off. He's going to be hyped up more than anybody else that we haven't seen a Dante Jet reception yet. I know he's going to be gassed up about that, as will the entirety of the defense and really the whole team. I think once they get back to the locker room post-game, that'll be one of the first things that Coach Styler says is, hell of a job tonight for keeping number 14 away from the ball.
Absolutely. And just shout out to this entire team because you've seen everyone playing hard, everyone sticking together. I haven't seen a single team-on-team argument. They have just been connected through the ups, through the downs. Even these 2 quarterbacks with splitting time, they have been there for each other. You got to love to see that, and I'm excited to see what they can do this season.
Obviously, you highlight the 2 quarterbacks, sharing that same maturity, but it really is the whole team because some guys on the offensive side of the ball might be like, why are we doing this so often? Why are we switching quarterbacks, switches the flow? But they're all on board with it, and as a football team, as a group of 53 guys, you have to be on board with it. Everybody, all 53 guys, you got to be on board with it, the whole coaching staff. And it is clear through these handshakes, these dap-ups, up 21 on the sideline, that these guys are as connected as can be, Colin.
And we've talked about it before. The student section.
Oh, man, can't help but bring them up. How about that?
It's just played such a big role tonight, and the guys love to see them stick around for the entire game.
As we see them, some of them exiting now, as I think it's safe to say the Bulldogs might walk away with this one, but what a job, as you said, man. I mean, we're seniors now, so these are our guys in our grade leading the way at the bottom of that student section, getting everybody hyped up, and I'd say they've done a pretty good job here as Hinsdale South hands it off to Burton. Probably just stat pad here to end it. Make it look good on Max Preps. Got to give Burton credit, though. I mean, he's had a very solid night on the ground. Every time he has the ball in his hands, it feels like he's breaking a couple tackles, at least, 5 or 6 yards per carry almost.
Yeah, about that. And Hornets are going hurry-up mode here. They're going to try to get back to the line as quick as possible.
Yeah, Ratana and Nico Caputo on the sideline there, as you saw from the broadcast. 2 main guys in the night. How about it? As another handoff to Burton, and he will be swallowed up for a gain of about 3 or 4 yards there.
5-yard gain for the Hornets.
And one thing I'd like to bring up is the contributions from the juniors and seniors. Because even though RB is a very senior-oriented team, the juniors have made such an impact tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, Anthony Lemke, we brought him up, right? Number 7, hit a huge tackle. And we saw him. He didn't force the fumble, but I don't know if he caught it. His behind actually kept it in bounds for Ferguson to get it. He slid back on it, and it didn't go out of play. So thankful for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, what a job from the juniors as well. Everybody deserves credit here tonight for this Bulldogs performance. Not over just yet, though. 3:45 to go. Skyler going to tuck it and run into his own offensive lineman. Still going. My goodness. How is he still up? I don't know. And ball's out.
Ball's out.
It's kicked down, and will the Bulldogs fall on it? That's a Looney Tunes play if I've ever seen one. It's Bulldog football. So after a wild 8 missed tackles there, Colin, the Bulldogs fall on it. It's been the theme of a night. Hornets will give themselves some false hope, but then the Bulldogs will shut it down, as we'll get a replay here in just a few seconds of this fumble. Skyler's 2nd of the night.
And just making everyone miss. I mean, he's just dancing. But as a quarterback, you need to hang on to the ball.
Yep.
As you're going to watch, that's
Let's
number
check
8,
this. Yeah.
Ben Biskupic.
Check that hustle, man. Gotta love it.
Oh, that's
Peanut
Warren Mason.
punch.
Warren Mason forcing the fumble.
Number 5.
He is just
Man,
an absolute dog.
can't say enough. If you're from Chicago, you know what the peanut punch is. Shout out Peanut Tillman, former Bears defensive back. Hey, coaches preach it all the time. I mean, if you want to get the ball out of ball carrier's hands, you got to swat it. Give it a little uppercut, give it a little haymaker, and it worked just like that, baby.
And although we may do player of the game, I think everyone tonight has made such a big impact. You can't focus on one player and just tell me they made the biggest impact. Like, this entire defense has just been all over the place, holding this Hinsdale South team to just the bare minimum.
Yeah, you just saw the coaches on the sideline. They looked as if they were talking to him like it was a tie game. And you have to love that if you are the Bulldogs. As a player, you have to cherish and appreciate that, because it doesn't matter if we're up 21, right? With 3 minutes to go, you have to stay locked in at all times.
And Gideon Bradford making his first entrance tonight. He is a speedy running back to complement the duo of Renteria, Caputo, and I guess Ratana as well.
There you go.
I mean, they're all.
Can't go without mentioning.
I mean, you got 4 stud running backs, as we're going to see Will Rio check into the game as a receiver as well.
Absolutely. We have some offensive line changes here. Last second before they get the snap off, they'll break the huddle. And G will stay in alongside number 14, Gideon Bradford. 2:40 to go. Will they run it again just to run the clock out towards the 2-minute warning? Yes, they will. Gideon will break the tackle, cut inside. Pretty nice play there, all things considered. Was able to stay up longer than he should have for a solid gain for the Bulldogs.
Shifty running back. I mean,
all these guys are shifty, man.
I mean, they complement each other so well.
They do. I think Ratana, with that, like we said, the aggressive bowling ball mentality, just run through guys and just drill through them. It complements, the guys you have on sweeps, Jaden Karras, Xavier Mrozek, even those receivers, or Nico Caputo out of the backfield, those quick, shifty guys. Maybe not contradictory, but the different styles of play in certain aspects complement each other to the best of their ability.
And the clock will not stop.
Clock will not stop. That's what I thought. 2-minute warning, it's just a habit as a football enjoyer, as a football watcher, but hey, that means we're getting out of here quicker, right? No, I'm just kidding.
That is not what we want to do, as this was a
very fun night here from the Dog Pound as we're closing things out here. Gideon bounces it outside. That might be a holding, but they won't call it. Gideon, get going. That's a big run for number 14. That's got to feel good. Busting out the first down, Selly. And this offense just won't stop. Doesn't matter the score. They will keep on pushing, and there is a flag. It appeared as if one of the receivers was holding. It might have been number 19, Timothy Giacomelli. Looked like he was holding the defensive back's shoulder pad there to help Gideon break free, but we'll see what the call is as we await.
And this is where you're going to sharpen up your second stringers is during this time. You're up 21. You want to get these guys touches. You want to get your receivers touches. You want to get them out there blocking just in case there is an injury during the season, which we do not want.
Absolutely. And we saw the holding play. I don't think it was on Jake Dudzik because that was one heck of a block. He drew his guy to the ground there despite the flag. And you had a great point there. These second stringers, guys like Gideon who are juniors who will come up next year and play even a bigger role on this team, they have to use these reps, doesn't matter the score, as times to sharpen up because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter the score, doesn't matter if the defense has their second or third stringers in. These reps are valuable because they are in game. They are more valuable than practice reps after all, as we see Renneria subbed in at running back. Good job by Gideon there. Has to feel good, even though the flag called it back.
Absolutely. And I don't think you could have said it any better about the reps. Yep. Sounded like a real coach out there.
So we are under a minute to play. Bulldogs wind things down. Renteria will rush this one. Is that the ice? Is that the icer? The final first down run for the Bulldogs. Could it be? Will they let this clock roll out? I think they might. Maybe they just have to put one more play in. But what a job from the Bulldogs tonight, Colin. It was close at times, but in the end, they pulled away. 2 important turnovers from the defense. Both fumbles from quarterback Jackson Schuyler. Way to pounce on it if you're the Bulldogs defense and those guys staying hungry, staying active, and staying around the ball.
Absolutely. And they needed those turnovers because you never know what Schuyler could do. He broke free on that run, and luckily Warren Mason was there to punch it out, and the Bulldogs were there to dive on it as Giancarlo Garcia will take the knee.
Victory formation for the Bulldogs, and that'll do it. These Bulldogs, these varsity Bulldogs are 2-0 to start the season. What a way to finish this one. Offense, defense, special teams. Everybody played well tonight. It'll be tough picking a player of the game here because everybody just played their part so well.
And I think we could go offensive, defensive. On the defensive side, Warren Mason was just all over the place tonight. You got to give credit to the kid as he played his heart out.
He did. And I'd say on the offensive side of the ball, maybe not that exciting of a pick, but what an exciting player. What an exciting opportunity for number 9, Braden Novak. He comes in there, any given situation, he's ready to throw it on the dime. And you got to appreciate that if you're Sam Styler and company.
Absolutely. And the other player to shout out, Jacob Ratana. He was an absolute beast tonight.
We'll throw him the Medal of Honor as well, player of the game. 3 players of the game, 1 on defense, 2 on offense. But really a credit to every one of these Bulldogs, juniors, seniors, no matter the class. They all played their part in this huge 41-20 win tonight. I'm your host, Aiden Sheff. Hopefully you had a blast with us along on this broadcast alongside Colin Samino, my guy for the season. It was a pleasure. Opener for us, home opener. Had a blast, like I said. And we got more on the way this season. Thursday, the playbook. Stay tuned. It's not going anywhere. So we will talk about Sam Styler, the win tonight. His guys are 2-0. He's 2-0. And what's to come for the team. Colin, what an exciting way to start the season. What an exciting first 2 weeks as we get this thing wrapped up.
Absolutely. Gotta love high school football and gotta love the energy these Bulldogs have brought this season.
Absolutely. Well, that'll do it here from the Dog Pound. Hope you guys all enjoyed. What a night for the Riverside Brookfield Bulldogs. And that'll do it here from RBTV. Thanks, guys.